And welcome back to episode 23 of the Hit the Showers podcast, presented to you by the Foolproof Entertainment Network. As always, I am your host, Clifford Jordan Jennings, here with my point man and co-host, Malcolm Undrafted King.
Hey, that was a good one. Look, at least give me a 7th round pick.
Right,
Brady.
Right, last of the pack king, huh?
Last of the pack. What's going on, Cliff?
Shit, coolin'. You know how we do.
Right.
Of course, we'll have some other people coming eventually, but for the now, I suppose we'll get started here.
All right.
Just because we started off last week with the quarterbacks and the the positionings, I want to get straight into the CBS Mock Draft that was just released yesterday, I believe. They actually got Justin Fields, well, I guess right around where Mike Brown said he would be. I think he said 7.
Yeah, I believe Mike said 7, somewhere around that 7.
Yeah.
I know he said past 6.
Because I think I said 6, and I think he said past 6, 7. So
right.
he on par, at least with CBS, I'll say. But basically, the way they have it looking for CBS is we got Trevor Lawrence.
Okay.
He's at 1. We got Zach Wilson at 2. Oh, I'm sorry. Trevor Lawrence at 1 to Jacksonville, of course. Zach Williams to the Jets at 2. I said Zach Wilson. 3, San Francisco, Mac Jones, which is still very shocking to me.
Right.
4 right now is still the Patriots, but I heard that I said the Patriots, it's Atlanta, but I heard Patriots are trying to trade up for that position. And if so, they're interested in Trey Lance.
I've heard they like potentially Justin Fields, Trey Lance, yeah,
right,
somewhere in that realm. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Now that's ironic to me because that kind of goes against Belichick's play style.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
right.
Belichick's not usually, and don't get me wrong, I the only reason why I said from the beginning of us talking about it. What up, Pop?
What up?
He in the building.
I was cutting grass, ran late.
You all right? You all right?
You good, Pops? What's going on?
What's going on, Big Mouth?
We talk about Cliff was talking about
the mock draft.
mock draft, Trey Lance potentially being a favorite for the Patriots to trade on up and go get him, which is unusual for their typical selections and play style.
Right, like they trying to trade Atlanta for that 4th pick, and they want to go with Trey Lance, and I'm just thinking, and like I was about to say, I'm not saying that Trey Lance is just an athletic quarterback, because that's why I pegged him for my sleeper in the beginning, because I do think he has talents beyond just an athletic quarterback, but it's still very ironic to see a Patriots organization, like specifically Belichick, looking at a Trey Lance in that position.
What they say he's also looking at Justin Fields, so I guess he's looking for that athletic quarterback now. I guess he's trying to go with the times, especially if you look at them using Cam Newton. I mean, they're looking for a quarterback that can run. So I guess they're trying to, keep up with the sign of the times.
Right, and like me and Mock was saying, off pod, of course, Cam Newton, at least in my opinion, was kind of balling out with the Patriots before he stepped out with COVID. And then once he came back, it was just like he couldn't catch his rhythm. I don't know what it was, if he was still suffering from underlying effects, but he just couldn't get his rhythm together. So I'm interested to see if that's the direction that Belichick plans to go in, how his style of play changes on offense. You know what I mean? Because you can't just be that short down, check pass kind of play, because you don't give your quarterback enough chance to respond and be athletic if we're just going for those check slants and, you know what I mean? Like, so he's going to have to open up the field a bit, and that's something that we don't usually see from Belichick, which I'm interested to see. But before we even got there, Pop, they still got Mac Jones going to San Fran at number 3.
That's the Shanahan. I've been reading that's a Shanahan pick. I mean, really. I mean, they say Shanahan likes him because he fits his offense, but I really don't see Mac Jones really being that great of a
I'd rather stick with Garoppolo.
I'd really trade back and get him a couple picks later, because I don't really think nobody wants him, really.
I'm surprised at that.
Yeah, I can't see him being better than Garoppolo. I really can't.
He doesn't fancy me. Mac Jones probably is going to end up being like another Matt Leinart kind of situation, where he came in there, he had a starting position somewhere, and then he just never panned out. Could be wrong, only time will tell. But Mac Jones doesn't fancy me to be somebody I feel like is going to really be special. Again, could be wrong. Tom Brady went 7th round pick. Look at him now.
Right.
They're always the other side of things. But yeah, I'm not too impressed with Mac Jones, to be honest.
Now, another thing I will say is Trey Lance is set to have his second pro day coming up on Monday, on April 19th, I believe. So I'm interested to see if that raises or lowers his stock. But right now, on the same mock draft, the CBS mock draft, Pops, they got Kyle Pitts out of tight end from Florida. They're going to Cincinnati to help out Burrows. Then they got Jamar Chase going to Miami, wide receiver out of LSU. Then they got... You said what?
It has to be reversed.
You think it should be Jamar Chase to Cincinnati? And okay, that makes sense. Yeah, that definitely makes sense.
I'll see that being reversed.
But you know what? Like I said last week, I don't watch enough, or not last week. I guess that's last week.
Yeah.
I don't watch a lot of Cincinnati football, so I don't know how their offensive scheme is. I don't know if they have a strong tight end presence, like as far as moving the ball in Cincy. Do you either of y'all know?
They had a decent tight end. I'm not going to say a great tight end.
Right.
This year, I don't know what they're rolling with. I mean, I think it's changed from year to year. But still, they don't really have receivers.
Right. Hey, Mama Mount, tell Jay I said happy birthday. But, I agree. I do agree. They never really have. So, I don't know. Yeah, I guess you are absolutely right. I don't know if the first pick had a chance. Well, you know what? This draft is wide receiver heavy. What's Cincinnati's next pick?
I mean, but you still got to remember, you're talking about a quarterback that won the Heisman with the quarterback that's coming out. I mean, the receiver that's coming out.
Oh, yeah.
That was my top dog. That was my top dog at LSU. I mean, why would I? If I'm going to make my quarterback happy, his number one receiver at LSU is coming out this year. He also is a top receiver. Why would I go anything less than? I mean,
the chemistry is already there.
That's an excellent point. That's an excellent point.
2 years with this guy. The 2 years this guy got you a Heisman Trophy. I mean, come on. I mean, I can't see.
That's an excellent point.
Pitts is nice, but, you know, the chemistry might not be there. You're talking about a tight end. You're talking about a receiver that can take the top off, the middle. He's an all-around receiver.
But, I mean, I guess in Pitt's defense, he's kind of a split. You know what I mean? Like, he's kind of too big to be wide receiver, but too fast to be a pure tight end. You know what I mean? Like,
but think about this. This is what I'm trying to say. If you had a choice between Malcolm and somebody new, Malcolm got you to the promised land. He got you a national title, right. And all of a sudden, why would you go Malcolm away? Well, you know for sure Malcolm.
Right. Hot hand. Back we talked about with.
No, I agree there. I agree there. But let's be honest. I mean, it's a CBS draft or a CBS mock draft, and I find it ironic. Most of the times when you have a mock draft out of a specific network, they usually tell you the person that did the mock draft. You know what I mean? Yeah. But this just says CBS mock draft, so it's kind of like, how do we trust them?
Right.
You know, nobody's putting their name on it to say I'm wrong so how do we really trust them? So I agree with that by far. But then they got Justin Fields going to Detroit.
I didn't see that one.
That's the 7.
That's CBS, though.
Yeah, that's number 7, like Mike Brown said.
Interesting.
Now, what I found interesting is that NFL analyst Charles Davis just released an updated draft, and I don't know if it's to what you said that apparently Justin Fields had his second pro day this past Wednesday, the 14th. I missed it. I completely.
They did great, and Belichick and him was all there. Everybody was looking for him.
He did do great.
All of New England, all of them was talking to him. One named San Francisco was talking to him. All the top dogs were there. They wanted to check him out. And he did not disappoint.
Then this makes perfect sense then, because the dude Charles Davis had him going at number 4 to Atlanta now after that pro day. Now, the whole reason why I'm still kind of skeptical on him is because he actually had Trey Lance going all the way to 15 to the Patriots.
Really?
And I was like, now that's crazy. Like, I don't know if you have something against that man specifically, but that makes me not trust your mock draft for you to do that. Drop him to 15, here nor there. But
have y'all heard the little story that was out just a couple of days about your boy? What's his name? The Golden Child, number 1 pick. Trevor Lawrence. His comments, his dad and his comments were basically he could take football or leave it.
Oh yeah, I did, and I heard they were questioning his commitment and all that shit. But what was that? Where did that come from? What was that?
I read it, and you know, I'm not verbatim because I could have read it wrong, but I'm pretty sure I know it strongly said that what I truly believe his words were. He could take football or leave it. I mean, he could walk away from football today and not miss it. So to me, my theory is you're the number 1 pick going out to a quarterback supposed to be trying to save a franchise, and you're telling me point blank that you could take it or leave it. Sounds like Andrew Luck to me.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, it sounds like somebody saying, "Hey, man, my life is great. I love football. I'll play great." But if it gets a little hectic, I can walk away and not think twice about it. And it actually showed me that in the Ohio State game.
Right. The way he kind of like threw the fit, not threw the fit, but he shut down like he wasn't his normal.
So here's my question: why isn't anyone coming down on those comments?
Why isn't his stock dropping?
Yeah, why is his stock not dropping compared to a guy who's had 2 pro days, busted his butt, gained weight, gained muscle, and chucking the ball just as far? I just don't understand the logic.
Well, you know what? I think the only defense I could give to that is at the same time it's Jacksonville. Like, they're not the worst team, but they're kind of middle of the pack to mid-low. So they can afford to roll those dice, and even if they crap out, it's not like all eyes are on them as to why they messed up.
I got that. But your very first pick, you got the first pick. You should be picking your franchise player on a first type pick.
But you
kind of reminds me of that fighter that got in the ring, ready to fight. The bell rings. He got out the ropes and walked away.
Oh, right. Well, that's because that was some cheap shit. He just was trying to get his payday
and get paid. Right. But my point is, how you know Trevor Lawrence ain't trying to get paid?
Right. I mean, well, we'll be able to see. Either he's gonna pan out or he's gonna fail. He's gonna be a quitter.
Right.
Got it. But like I said though, why is his stock not falling? Why are you not talking about that? Why is that? That should have been top news. Like, hey, you're talking about picking a quarterback for the very first pick of the draft, the very first pick, and he's telling you he don't really care one way or the other.
Right.
The answer to that, Pop.
He likes to play football, but he can walk away tomorrow and not miss it. That means
we got Britt in the building, ladies and gentlemen, on the podcast version that can't see. But
what's up, y'all?
What's up?
What was you finish your statement though, Pops though?
I mean, to me, why would you not have that out there? You have a quarterback who's saying that technically, I want to play.
Right.
I want to play, but yet I really don't. I don't have to play, and that is your first pick, the very first pick of the draft, and no one's even talking about that. And his tangibles are not better than Justin Fields or Trey Lance's or anyone else's.
You think?
I don't really see him being that much above anybody. I really don't.
I mean, I know this is my take on it, Pops. I know that quarterbacks don't.
I'm sorry, Mark. I don't want to cut you off, but Britt, just to catch you up, basically we were going through the mock draft, and right now we were talking about how Trevor Lawrence still has that top spot, even after all the controversy of him saying that he doesn't have to play football. His stock didn't drop. That was basically where we were at right there, right? So I'm sorry, Mark. Continue what you were saying.
No, yeah, you're good. What I was just saying is, Pops, like, you know how people always say, well, it's Brady versus Rodgers, Brady's versus Breeze, whatever. And these guys never truly play one-on-one, right? Because it's offense versus defense, not offense versus offense.
Right.
But what I will say is, when it comes to tangibles, I think that Trevor Lawrence has a lot of the tangibles, per se. I just think that, like you said, if he's not committed to playing, you better figure it out, because it's the NFL. This ain't college no more. You might have got past Ohio State, all then, but you know how this, Pops. You start playing against them real teams, them Raiders defenses, whoever, them tough-nosed guys, you better come ready to play, or else you're going to be out of there. You know what I mean? So
now, piggybacking on that, Malcolm, check this out. You just said Brady and Breeze, right?
Right.
You know why Brady wins more championships?
Why?
Because he's willing to give up half his pay or some of his pay to get better players on his team. And Drew Brees, you didn't hear him giving up no money. You didn't hear him giving up nothing. He just played quarterback. The difference is one guy's willing to sacrifice to win, and the other one's saying, hey, I'm just here to play football.
Right.
So that's what I'm trying to say in a nutshell. You got Trevor Lawrence saying, I can walk away. And you got Justin Fields saying, hey, I've got a petition. I want to play football.
And it's immediately out the gate, like out the gate, like before you even make it, like that's different. But I wouldn't really question Trevor Lawrence tangibles. Yeah. I would more so question maybe his durability, like with your shoulder surgeries and all that. Like, I don't know how that's going to play out, but I wouldn't quite question anything else.
Not his tangibilities, but check it out. If you make the comment before you even get hit in the pros, or before you even get hurt in the pros, if you say I can walk away, that basically lets me know that one big hit, if you get scared,
you question it, right?
You're out. And I'm not gonna throw all my marbles in on a first pick.
Right.
Somebody who, if you twist your ankle and they say you may not walk again, you go, I'm done.
Right.
Or somebody say, man, your shoulder's messed up. It's gonna take you about a year and a half to get healed. Oh, I'm done. I just can't do it.
Does he come for money?
I don't know if he came for money or not. I really don't know. I mean, he probably got some shampoo commercials.
Hey, Pop, I was thinking about that. Like, he's definitely a Head and Shoulders commercial. Don't be surprised.
He's got the commercials. He's going to be in the commercials.
He's definitely got them. Well, you need to find your way to Dallas. Find a way to drop the number 10. That's where you get all the advertisements and shit.
Cowboys.
Yeah, maybe that's what he's trying to do.
Right.
Like, I don't really care to play just to see if he drops enough to. That would be genius.
It ain't gonna
work. They talk about it though. Nobody's talking about it.
It ain't gonna
I
work
did
'cause
see an
Urban-
article on I want to say CBS where I was looking up the draft about it. But that's basically they were asking the same question, like is his stock dropping? Why hasn't it dropped yet? Type.
What does it take for a long-haired white quarterback to drop his stock? You know, that's the real question. I think it takes a lot.
Deshaun Watson.
Listen, Mac Jones is the perfect example as to how it takes a lot. Pop sent me the picture, the video of Belichick shaking his head at that overthrown ball. Like
he threw a ball, missed the
he's
receiver.
not the one.
Like, no,
he can't.
No.
He's not the one. Maybe we should start going athletic, because that's another thing we talked about before you hopped on, Britt, is that Patriots are trying to trade with Atlanta to get the number 4 pick, and they interested in Trey Lance or Justin Fields, which to me is kind of ironic because it doesn't fit Belichick's offensive scheme with all those check down passes, quick slants, and all that. You don't give a athletic quarterback enough time to make a read and be athletic in that kind of offense. Mm-hmm. So it's going to have to open up his field a bit to where you might see a whole different playbook coming from Belichick this next year.
I don't know, man.
You don't know?
No, because if you look at Ohio State's offense, he threw a lot of check down.
Yeah.
Check down. He either threw a check down or he was going for all the marbles.
Right.
So he kind of does fit. I mean, if you look at Cam Newton.
Yeah, I guess a bit, huh? But that's the thing. You can't do them decision option.
Right.
You can't do all that. Yeah, you can't do all that in the NFL. So I don't know. That might take away from your legs.
Right. You got to be a little smarter.
But I mean, other than that, your boy Malk that you were so shocked about, they got Penei Sewell, offensive tackle out of Oregon, going to Carolina at number 8. They got Micah Parsons out of Penn State, the linebacker, going to the Broncos at 9. And then they got Rashawn Slater. He's an offensive lineman. I think he rotates guard tackle out of Northwestern. I was kind of shocked to see 2 offensive linemen going so high in the draft, especially.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I could understand Dallas a bit just because you gave Dak his contract. Now you got to protect him. He already broke his ankle. Can't afford no other issues. Let's make sure we got somebody there to protect him. So that makes a little bit more sense. I'm not going to say Carolina doesn't, but I was shocked to see 2 O-linemen going in the top 10 in that as well. Especially when you got so many receivers and all that out there.
Yeah, but how many, I mean, at the same time, how many receivers are going to really pan out? I mean, think about the slew of receivers we've seen over time and how many of them have, top receivers, I should say, how many of them really panned out? Because a lot of them don't, to be honest. I mean, some do,
right?
But a lot of them really don't. So, yeah, I mean, you need linemen. You need linemen.
I definitely agree. I agree with you 100%. The only reason why I was expecting to see more receivers coming out higher in the draft is because we have this big shuffle at quarterback. So people are in a hurry to find weapons to give them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm not going to say it's not a smart pick to, get your linemen off, but that shocked me. But other than the draft specifically, matter of fact, we got Britt here on the show. Let me direct the question directly to you. So the Brownies release defensive tackle Sheldon Richardson to clear up $11 million on the cap. Do you feel like that helps the Browns at all, letting him go?
The Browns are known for making moves like that. Didn't they pick up Clowney?
Yeah, they did pick up Jadeveon Clowney on a 1 year, $8 million, $7 million guarantee, and a 4.5 signing bonus. I was kind of like, whoa, whoa,
a little much for him.
Right,
much.
right.
I actually thought that kind of like slightly off topic, but what I was saying before, they always make moves like that. They'll get rid of players that, Browns fans like myself love, and just to, make room for whatever future they see. So that's not surprising,
right?
Because they've been doing that. They do that every year. On the flip side of that, with them bringing in Clowney, I think they do have some type of plan. I don't know what it is. I think that they really didn't necessarily want Clowney. I think that they're trying to open up for Myles Garrett, get some of those triple teams, double teams down. I think that was the whole point. So I think that they're making the right moves, and I usually don't say that, but I do think they are making the right moves in this case.
Okay, I like that. How y'all feel about it?
I don't know. I'm not feeling Clowney.
Yeah, Clowney sucks.
Yeah, I think it's just the name, though. Clowney is not really hasn't really shown himself the past couple of years at all. But I really think that it's really about the name, and you can't necessarily leave him unattended. So I really think that it wasn't about Clowney. I think it was about Myles Garrett.
Right. I agree with you.
I will say this. Clowney went to his Pro Bowls when he had J.J. Watt on the other side. Mm-hmm. So I will give you that much. So with Myles Garrett, he may open the door for Clowney to become an exceptional run stopper.
Right. I got a hot take for you. Maybe he just didn't like where he was. We all know that Texas is the sunken place for a lot of black athletes. So maybe it was a situation where he was like, You know, after JJ started like not falling off by any means, but he definitely slowed down his production rate. He was probably like, this is a lot of work for this team that I don't really feel.
Let me challenge that, Cliff. If you go to several organizations, let's say you go to several companies and everybody says the same thing, but your work ethic isn't there, questioning your credibility, bro, it's you.
Touche.
That's you. Because I would. Here's my thing. Once again, and we talked about this offline, you and I, Cliff, but when his South Carolina coach, if y'all remember, when he was coming into the draft, even said he's a heck of a player when he's geared up, he's ready to go.
Right.
But he don't want to practice, he don't want to put the full work in. That was a red flag to me from the jump. So when he went to the Texans, like you said, had that situation, okay. Then he went to the Seattle Seahawks. They, I believe, got rid of him. I believe they got rid of him.
Yes.
They
let him go.
To Cleveland.
They just let him
go. Come on. I mean,
touche.
Speaking of Trevor Lawrence, that's a guy who doesn't want to, like, it's like you want the money, but you don't want to do anything in addition. Don't want to work. Right. Don't do the work. Like, you have talent. I'm not saying he's not talented. We all know he's talented, clearly, but you don't want to do the work. No, that's not good. That's not good to me.
Like the guy on the job that wants the raise, but as soon as he gets the raise, he stops doing the work. They only did the work.
All right, Pops, like
Ezekiel Elliott.
That's so funny you said that, because that's what I was going to say next was I feel like he's a defensive Ezekiel Elliott. We know you guys are talented. There's no question in my mind, but y'all don't want to do the work. Y'all are half-assing plays.
Right.
But you're talking about a guy that was given talent, not just given talent. You're talking about a guy that's built like a truck, and he didn't really have to work for it. I mean, he had speed for the size he was. Everything just came easy.
He was a track athlete too. Like,
it just came easy.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
When it comes easy for you, and then when somebody, when it comes easy for you, it's fun. But when they push you to have to do something you never did, it's like, wait a minute, hold up, I don't like this part.
Right.
You're talking about a guy who never had to work out, never had to do nothing. He's just naturally big, strong, athletic. Now that he actually got to work to stay there,
but
it ain't.
To defend Zeke a bit, the NFL has a real throwaway system with mentality with running backs in general. And we all know the running back's lifespan is only 3 to 4 years. It usually takes 3 to 4 years for you to get that big contract. So at the end of that, there is no restructuring for you unless you can make it to that next contract. But see, what's funny about it is the NFL says by the time you make it to that, he's old. He doesn't have what he had. And you know what I mean? Like, they do running backs dirty. So by no means will I just look down on one once they get a check, unless they just quitting altogether. I don't see him quitting altogether, but he's definitely not producing the way he was. That's a fact.
I'm gonna tell you this. Look at this. Check it out. You're talking about Zeke, who's sitting there watching Earl Campbell and Marcus Allen and all them guys who got beat up, banged up, hurt, and everything. But at least some of them, like Marcus Allen, played for a team that had a chance to win a Super Bowl, won a Super Bowl. Zeke is not going anywhere with Dallas. He's saying, why should I kill myself to not go anywhere, to not even make the playoffs? What's the point?
Right.
I mean, to me, it's like, you know what? You want me to perform? Get everybody else to perform. We start performing, I'll perform.
Right.
Everybody else going to play lackluster. It's like you do the element you're in.
Right.
So if everybody else is producing, why should I produce? You know, I'm not gonna hurt myself.
Yeah, I agree, Pops. The only thing I'll say is before Dak Prescott got hurt last year, Cowboys were playing great, like with Dak. Like Dak was leading the way, like they were looking kind of scary. But Zeke still wasn't producing then. Now I get like when Dak went down, I could definitely understand that more. Like, like you said, we're not doing nothing. Why would I bust my tail?
Right.
But like even when my thing is, even when Dak's playing well, or if Dak does play well like he's expected to, what are you going to do, Zeke? Are you going to do your part? Or is it going to all on Dak and CeeDee Lamb and the rest of that team? You know, that's my concern. CeeDee Lamb. I said, what did I say?
CC, right. I don't know. That's his sister.
Right. Yeah. They got CD and CC. But yeah, I mean, we'll see. I mean, I think Elliott is talented, but I just feel like, and I don't want to give him no pass, y'all, because look at Adrian Peterson.
No, you can't. But he's going through
a broken neck,
and he's going through what I'm going through now. What I'm saying though, too, where it's like nobody's gonna give him no money no more. You're used up. You know what I mean? So you can't get a restructure or a better contract once you get that payday. That's your pay as a running back. Because if you make it out of that contract, you're now used up. We'll give you half of that. Regardless of what you're really doing, you're getting old. We'll give you half.
Is it a curse?
I don't think it's a curse. I think it's just the way they look at it. The way they
look at everybody. Look at all the running backs that held out for more money, and after they held out, got the money, they kind of just faded away.
The Christian McCaffrey.
Christian know that. Y'all, what's the big?
I wouldn't say Christian. What's
the big white dude that
played? The guy before Christian.
What's the big white boy that played for Cleveland? What's his name?
The running back. He was on the cover of Madden.
Yeah, he sure was. I can't think of his name.
They did him dirty though.
Yeah, but when he got it, they didn't give him no money, but he just faded away though.
Oh, that's gonna bother me.
I'll look at it.
Yeah. Oh my God, what is his name? Why do I want to say?
It was that's not him. They said.
What was his name?
I liked him too.
Hillis.
Uh-huh.
Hillis was nice.
Yeah.
Did he want more money? He faded away. Le'Veon Bell wanted more money. Faded away. There's a bunch of them. The list goes on and on. Who else? There's some more out there.
Oh, so that's what you're saying about. Oh, no problem, Jay. That's what you're saying about the curse.
Yeah. Once they get that money, they just disappear. And I can't remember.
Peyton Hillis could have had the Madden curse.
Yeah.
That could have been.
I'm sorry, Cliff.
Nah, that was you. I was just gonna say that could have been the Madden curse.
Right.
No, I think that was the Browns. If you remember, like they just were not respecting any running backs that were coming through at that time because they did the same thing. Who did they get? Trent Richardson. Who was the guy that they
did
got
get Trent.
after him?
They did.
And they didn't. They basically. It was like.
Was Trent after him?
Had
to be. No, he had to be after him.
Quarterbacks and running backs, I couldn't even keep up, bro. They
come in and go. Cleveland got them in.
Right, you right.
They got one night stands in Cleveland. That's what they got.
Yeah, I think Richard came after. I think he
did come after.
He came after.
But I mean, listen, we can't criticize the Browns too much now because they seem to be moving in the right direction.
They're in the right direction now. They got a good coach. They're moving in the right direction.
Oh, Britt, you froze.
Yeah, they've had the best offseason so far too. But signings, they've signed some.
You think they had the best?
No. I mean, so
I think
far,
it's still up. I think the Patriots still up there with.
They've signed 100 people.
I think the Patriots still up there. The best.
But once again, we're talking about, and y'all Raiders fans, so y'all know exactly who I'm about to name. You're talking about Nelson Aguilar and them.
No, I wasn't even considering Nelson Aguilar. Listen, that first day that the free agency opened up and they scooped up all them players, I was like, oh, they ain't playing.
But listen, okay, y'all. Let's look at it this way. Y'all remember back in the day, you talk with your friends, you'd be like, what y'all want? You want quality or quantity? Do you want quality or quantity?
Because that's the thing though, because when we're talking about availability, they got both. You can't just get quality when people aren't willing to give up quality. But as far as quality in that pool of free agents, they got them, Jack.
That's good.
I think
Cleveland had the best.
You think so?
Yeah, Cleveland got some major signing. And Cleveland,
they did do good.
Look it up.
They got quality in their defensive backfield. Their defensive backfield.
Pops. They've got some
and that's what they needed too.
Defensive backs, their safeties got better. Clowney, that's a joke.
I think it's going to be a good pickup.
I think he'll take some pressure off. I think he'll take some pressure off of Garrett, and he'll help out.
I'm telling you.
But I just don't see him being a smash. I don't see him smash. And the Raiders really don't impress me at all. They picked up garbage.
Yeah, they haven't done anything other than the Ngakoue.
Ngakoue was the only one I liked.
Yeah, I liked Ngakoue. That was a good one.
Solomon Thomas is a hard worker, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like they're gonna do more in the do more, but attempt to do more in the draft. They're gonna attempt to, but the Raiders have never been good on their draft selections either.
Y'all supposed to. Y'all got Mike Mayock. He was supposed to be the draft guru.
Listen,
y'all can't get
nothing going with him. No, he can't do it.
Right. Listen, Gruden is the problem, right? I won't say the problem, but he's a problem. Now, let's move on. Okay, so, damn, I wanted Britt's take on that, but we'll come back when she gets back. So, 16 teams so far have opted out of off-season workouts.
I haven't seen that.
Yes, sir. Yeah. So, those teams being the 49ers, Rams, Dolphins, Jets, Chargers, Falcons, Steelers, Raiders, Giants, Browns, Bears, Patriots, Lions, Buccaneers, Seahawks, and the Broncos.
No Super Bowl.
Well, see that's the question now, is because you notice that when we're talking about, we got the Bucs in there, right? We got the defending Super Bowl champs. We got the Patriots with Belichick, even more so than a coach. I would say he's a strategist. So I wouldn't imagine that he would put himself in that bunch if he thought it was going to take them away too much. But my question comes in this is, does this help or hurt their early season momentum or injuries? Because let's be honest, everybody's sitting out on all these workouts. That doesn't get your body ready for for the intensity you're going to have to go through in the league. And I think that's a big reason as to why we're seeing a lot of injuries take place now, because of, COVID stopping people from really working on their craft type. You can't trust people to work on their own. Even professional athletes, you can't trust them to work on their own. Certain ones, yes. Now, I'm not making a blanket statement, but for the most part, you can't trust people to work out on their own, and I feel like that's why we're getting a lot of injuries. So I don't know how that looks for those 16 teams.
I think it's injuries. I mean, like you said, you just answered. For me, you answered it. I mean, I think you're more injury prone. You have to have that collision in that early practice to get ready to gear up for that. And that's why, if y'all remember, beginning of last year when this happened and teams were set out because of COVID like that, there was a lot of injuries off the gate.
Right.
I mean, a lot of big injuries.
You're absolutely correct. Now, here's another thing, though. Here's another thing about it. Well, no, I won't. Well, yeah, I feel like some of these teams strategically are saying all of the shuffle that's taking place in the NFL currently, I feel like they're betting that people aren't going to have that cohesiveness out the gate. You know what I mean? So I'm thinking that they're thinking I would risk not working out and keeping my players clear from COVID and all this bullshit, that nobody's going to come out the gate with that much momentum. And for Britt that just hopped in, we talking about, did you hear about the 16 teams that opted out of the off-season workouts? Oh, she probably on.
Yeah, probably setting it back up.
Mm-hmm.
But
what you feel about it, Pop?
I just feel like, you know what, man, it's like, to me, it's like the game is just getting softer. Players don't want to do what they want to do. They just want to collect that money. They're trying to hang out on vacation longer. And I really don't think it's fair to the fans that we have to go or hear this stuff. I think they should keep it to themselves. I agree. I don't think we need to hear it, because people like us have to go to work every single day. You get 2 weeks, 3 weeks off if you've been there for a while, 4 weeks if you've been there for a long time.
Right.
Line is you're going to work every single day. We got to put the work in. Now, I'm not saying that a lot of them are not putting the work in, but when you got millions of dollars and you can go on vacations whenever you want to, you're not really working out.
You can't trust them to work out on their own. You can't trust them.
The thing with Jamarcus Russell, remember the thing they talked about Jamarcus Russell, where the quarterback's coach gave him a CD and asked him to watched the CD, and he said he would watch it. And then when he came back the next day, he said that they asked him, did he watch the CD? Did he over the weekend? They told him to watch it over the weekend. He came back after the weekend was over. They asked him, did he watch it? And he said, yeah. And he talked about how he learned so much, and come to find out it was a blank CD.
Right.
So
I did hear about that.
Yeah. So my point is, you're just giving these players more and more ways to just take it easy, take it lightly. That's why they really have no desire to win the game. Like back in the day, you see them on the sideline, they're fired up. Now you see them on the sideline making little things for their little YouTube channels, or not, Facebooks and
advertisements.
And what's the thing they got out now that you can get on there and watch them do the
TikTok,
the lip sync where people they fake your lips where you're just talking. So they're kind of playing on the sideline now. They're not really in the game anymore. It turned into a business instead of a really true game now.
Well, in the player's defense, when you handle them like a business and they're starting to get a little bit more leverage, you kind of got to play back that business game. Right. I'm not just going to put it on the players for this type of.
But when you ask me that question, what I'm thinking. My thought that you're tearing up the game. We're losing that spark in the game of playing football. Now it's more so like you said, it's just a business.
So you won't give them the COVID pass then? They don't get the COVID pass for that?
The COVID pass is done.
But you don't. But at the same time, we're coming. But listen though, because I mean, apparently Franklin County's back in the purple, so I'd imagine other places are as well. But what I'm saying is, you don't know coming off of the off season where just like you said, you got millions of dollars. You've been taking vacations and doing shit. You don't know what all these players have been doing coming back as a group. And that could potentially take the entire squad out for a chunk of time if you choose to hold those workouts.
But isn't that why they were doing COVID tests a couple times a week for the NFL and the other?
Well, you got to understand that was when the season started back up. But you got to.
No, I thought before the season they had to do that.
Oh, really? I didn't think they're not together.
Yeah, well, no, they were. Remember, there was some teams that were working out, like the Steelers last year ran into a situation where they would do their workouts at the practice field, and they found out somebody had COVID.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Well, of course, but see, this is the thing: this is the second year around. You know what I mean?
Right.
You live and you learn. So they may have learned something from that first year to say, you know what, it may be beneficial for us to cut this shit.
Right.
Man, I mean, see, the thing is, I think this COVID crap, man, I'm just going to tell you point blank, this COVID thing to me is starting to be more of a joke, because I'm not saying it's not out there, but for how is it you're saying that you got the vaccine now and we're catching more of it?
Right.
How is it that Ohio State just had a spring game and had a whole lot of players in the stadium? You're playing basketball games, you're filling up, people in the stadium. You're selling tickets now in the stadium, but yet you're saying that we're getting worse. We're not getting worse. You just want everybody to take that stupid vaccine.
I heard that theory too. I mean, I know
that could be the case.
I heard that theory too. But I mean, I think also, Pops, a lot to do with it is people that are getting vaccinated, obviously, and then you got people who are just like, oh well. Even the people who are getting back, just because you got vaccinated doesn't mean you still can't catch it. We all should know that by now.
Yeah,
so I think it's
off topic real quick.
Yeah.
This vaccine, I want to read y'all's question on this vaccine thing here. To me, honestly, Why are you complaining about people who don't want to take it? If you took it to keep you from getting it, why do you care?
I said that exactly. I
don't want you sticking nothing in my system. Just like the lady who died because she got a reaction from it, and she died because she got blood clots. Now, can you give her family? You gonna give her family money? Tons of money for what's going on? I don't want it.
Listen, I work in the medical field. They already got a ICD code for effects from vaccination. So people have to take time off for effects from vaccination, and that's already in the system. So that already lets me know that, I know that there are adverse reactions that some people may have that others may not. But until you get that shit together, I never bought the Xbox on the first release. Motherfucker, get it right. I gotta get you on the second or third. I'm not about to buy that. Get the fuck out of here.
They told you 6 people, but I guarantee you it's a whole lot more than what they really reporting.
They made a recall on Johnson & Johnson. So if they recalled it, then you know it's an issue. But that's here nor there. We won't get into it that deep. because we here to talk sports. Other than that, wait, did we have anything else on the 16 teams out for Okay.
No, you were gonna ask Brittany, but I don't know.
Well, we'll get to her if she hops back in. So how y'all feel about Marquise Godwin signing the 1 year with the Bears? Do you think that helps Andy Dalton at all in that position?
He's a bum.
I don't have
Pops is wearing out on Pops. You wearing off on me, like, and in a good way. bruh, because like, and again, I hate to be a little biased. So you were on my Eagles roster last year, and you chose to sat out amongst other players due to COVID. All right, whatever. I didn't know that other people played. Some people got it. I get it. Okay, you took a year off. You gonna come back and just make an impact? Took a year off on the Bears? Nah, bruh. Nah, I don't think so. But I mean, Pops, let's see what you think and Clip what you think, but nah, not for me.
I'd say I'm on the fence. I don't really see him really. I don't know. I don't know if he hit. It's the chemistry thing you said, chemistry. And like you said, anybody who sits out, meaning your heart's not in it. And if your heart's not in it,
right,
you're not.
Right, because I mean, let's be honest. If that's your passion, if that's your love, COVID's not gonna stop me from playing.
Right.
If I catch it and I gotta stop and I gotta sit out, that's fine. But as far as I have the opportunity to still play, and I'm gonna take it.
Right. Ronnie Lott didn't make the money they make now. He bit his finger off to get back into the game. He bit his own finger off.
Right.
To go into a game. He bit it off. Not medical staff. He bit it off. It went back in the game.
Yeah, that was.
I mean, but we don't make them. They don't make them like that anymore. Like we don't breed them like that anymore. Like that's not a thing. Like to fight through pain and adversity is not a real thing for everybody now.
Right.
Back in the days, I mean, I wouldn't even quite say for everybody it was back in the day, but like it was more common. It was more common. Right. There wasn't as much for everyone at that point. So you wanted to make a name. Now it feels like there's enough for everybody, so let me relax because I can just get what is coming to me. No, I want yours too. If you're not working hard enough, give me his too. I'll take his spot.
Yeah.
And it's not enough people that think like that. But as far as Britt back in effect, but as far as Marquise Godwin goes, I'm not sold on Andy Dalton. I'm not sold on Andy Dalton in the first place. So I'm not gonna call Godwin or Goodwin a mediocre wide receiver, but
he's not top tier.
Right, your speed. Tier. We'll give you speed, but top tier wide receiver with a subpar. And I don't even want to be that hard on Andy, but we'll give him a par quarterback. Mm-hmm. You're a par quarterback. We won't say subpar. That's a bogey. We'll give you a par. Even score quarterback. I don't think that's a big enough weapon to help you succeed in Chicago. That's just my opinion.
No, I agree.
Did you hear about that, Britt? Marquise Goodwin going to sign in the 1 year with the Bears?
She's on mute.
Oh. Listen, sometimes that shit happens. You said something out.
No, I was just saying. No, I agree with you. I was just saying I agree with you. Like,
I thought you asked me something.
No, that was me. I was saying that. I said that if he has a good defense, they'll be okay.
Well, the Bears usually
right.
They're systematically a defensive team.
They'll be a Cincinnati Bengals team or above. The old Cincinnati team.
That's what you think?
Yeah, I think they'll go 9-7.
Really?
I give 8-8.
Yeah.
7-9.
I'm leaning more so to 7-9, but
depends on their schedule too.
Their defense is strong. The defense is strong, and Andy Dalton has showed you he can keep you in a game. He did it for Cincinnati, and he really didn't stink it up in Dallas. He just didn't have nothing in Dallas. I mean, he said Zeke wasn't playing, so receivers were good, but he had a running game.
And you know what? Beyond that, though, even the defense is good in Chicago, which we know what it is. but the defensive structure, it as a whole, they've had players come and go and have still held that top tier defense in Chicago.
Montgomery's a heck of a running back.
You said who?
Montgomery.
Oh yeah, for the Bears, it's a running back.
They got a great running back.
I'm
he's
blanking
right.
on him.
Yeah, he's all right.
Yeah,
I must not know him.
Last year, I think it was last year, the year before. He's a heck of a running back.
Okay. I'm blanking on him. I'm not seeing that.
One of them LaDainian Tomlinson type backs.
Okay.
One of them Josh Jacobs backs. He's not a home run threat, but he can wiggle in the middle.
Get you some yards.
Well, listen, I don't know how many years Andy Dalton has left in him, so they better be making moves now because I can only see him playing for what, 2 more tops?
Probably, right, if that.
2 more tops? Like, aside from this one, so what is that, 3 total tops?
Yeah.
Yeah, he don't got much longer.
So, I mean, other than that, we'll move on from that. That was just a quick question. And then we'll get Britt caught up when she gets back in.
Here she comes.
Big question. Washington,
okay.
the Washington football team.
Mm-hmm.
So Washington releases that they are confident in their quarterback situation with Ryan Fitzpatrick. And don't they still have Alex Smith?
No, they let him go.
They let him go?
Yeah, let him and Haskins go like a bad habit.
So Ryan Fitzpatrick and who else then? Who's their backup?
Don't know that part.
Nobody.
Now listen. I'm not saying that I don't like Ryan Fitzpatrick because I do.
I don't. I can't.
I think he's all right. I'm not gonna say I would be looking at him, but I'm not saying that you got a bad quarterback. But the confidence in your quarterback situation is what kind of
what that tells you a lot about it. That tells you a lot about a team, then, right? If you are the Bears, if you are Washington, and you say Andy Dalton, Ryan Fitzpatrick is our guy, and that's who you're going with, and that's who you're investing in. I mean, that tells me all I need to know about your team and your management.
But you got to think about availability as well, though. You feel what I'm saying? And Andy Dalton and Ryan Fitzpatrick may not be, once again, I don't know what's above par. We'll call it birdie quarterbacks. You know what I mean? But as far as what's available, they were kind of top out there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I don't know if it's enough for you to say I'm confident in our quarterback situation, as in I wouldn't be looking for something else. But let's just say with this. So they got the additions of Curtis Samuels, right?
Haven't heard of him.
Curtis Samuels from North Carolina.
You don't know him, Ohio State.
The wide receiver.
He's from Ohio State.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he don't ring no bells for me.
I mean, he's let's be honest, in the NFL, he's a middle of the pack wide receiver, but he's still young. He's only like 25.
Okay. He's coming on.
But they added him. They also have Terry McLaurin still. Last year he had 87 receptions for 1,118 yards with a 12.9 average. He only had 4 touchdowns though. That was kind of shocking to me. And Curtis Samuels only had 4 touchdowns last year, I believe.
I think this will be his breakout year.
Curtis Samuels?
Yeah.
I think that it's definitely going to help having him lined up on the opposite side of Terry McLaurin for sure.
He had to carry the Washington Redskins last pretty much.
Is that enough for Ryan Fitzpatrick, though?
Nope.
That's what the ultimate question comes down to.
No, it's not enough. But I think no, it's not enough. But they got a good defense, and you never know what they're gonna get in the draft. They may make some noise.
And I don't even know if I know Washington's selections.
Yeah, as far as the draft goes, I don't. I'm not sure where they're drafting at. I know it's higher than, I guess you should say lower than my Philadelphia, because they almost won the NFC East last year. They barely lost the NFC East to. Well, wait a minute. Sorry, hold on. They won the NFC East. That's right, because they played the Buccaneers and got. Yeah, they won the NFC. I believe. Yeah, They won the NFC East last year. Washington did.
Did
They
they?
lost to the Buccaneers in the playoffs. I believe.
I'm about to look it up while you.
So I remember there was a controversy where Chase Young said, "I can't wait to get Tom Brady. Tom, I'm coming for you. Here I come, Tom." And the media tried to blow that up more than what it was.
Listen, I forgot the nigga Chase Young was still in.
Well, remember we talked about our game plan for future shows and what we trying to work out. Listen. We need him and old.
So they got 19.
What up, Kurt?
Yeah, all I see, this isn't a good. Yeah, this isn't giving me a good. But they do got 19. I can't get the other ones for some reason. I don't know. I just think Fitzpatrick didn't do bad in Miami, and he didn't have anything really out there to do much with. I would say this is an upgrade of his previous situation with the additions that Washington has put in there, but I'm still not sold on the whole situation as a whole, is I guess what I'm getting at.
I'll give him to him. I think it'll be good. I think it'll be decent. I don't think it'll be fantastic, but I think it'll do decent. Fitzmagic got a little bit of something left in the tank.
Yeah, I think so. I do think so. I thought that was kind of odd that they was like, we're comfortable in our quarterback situation. And I was like, well, wait a minute.
He's got an arm. He's got a good arm. I mean, he might be slow on reading the defenses, but he's got a good arm. He can let
I've always put Kirk Cousins, Ryan Fitzpatrick, Andy Dalton, and Joe Flacco in the same bucket to me.
See, I don't think I think I would put him slightly above. I think I would put
Joe Flacco at least got a ring. I will give Joe that, but
yeah, Joe got that. Yeah. Oh, did you put Joe in there? I didn't even hear Joe.
Yeah, Joe Flacco, Andy Dalton.
How do you even put them in the same bucket?
Because here's why I say that: they're quarterbacks that other people have raved about over the years. I felt like they liked, and they've gotten okay contracts at some points. But I've always called it out with these guys. I'm like, they're not going to pan out to be what people think they are, and they haven't. I mean, they've had all right games like anybody else, all right moments, but they've never truly panned out to be that graceful quarterback, playoff quarterback. Win you a ring. I mean, Joe Flacco, yeah, he did when really the defense.
But that was that's what I was about to say. That was kind of, and I'm not trying to take anything away from the best TB12, but that was a stars aligned. Right. That was a stars aligned victory for the Ravens that year. So yeah, I mean, that's not to take anything away from Flacco too, because he got it done. But I feel like that was a stars aligned victory more so than you grinded it out. You know what I mean?
Oh, you meant for the Bucks with TB12? You said TB12, and then I know.
Well, Flacco compared to Tom Brady with the Bucks is what I'm saying. That was like a stars aligned victory to me, because I mean, even the lights went out. You feel what I'm saying? The lights went out, and let's be honest, the lights went out when what's his name? He started cooking a bit. What's his name? What's the boy's name that they kicked out of the league?
They kicked a lot of people out the league.
Kaepernick.
Yeah, big Afro.
Oh,
he was cooking. He was cooking before. Wasn't that? Didn't the lights go out before the second half?
I think so.
And he was he was making his little comeback in that situation, and I was thinking, God damn, lights went out on his ass. He couldn't even make nothing happen in that situation.
Right.
And then
I think you're right.
So I feel like that was stars aligned for Flacco, but I will give Flacco P's. I just I feel like Flacco and Fitzpatrick are more so on the same level if you stripped Flacco's ring, but I wouldn't put Flacco in there with Dalton and who else was it that you said? Cousins.
Kirk Cousins.
I think Fitzpatrick would have
Cousins
been fine.
Is all right.
I think it'd been good in Miami, but they're just trying to push Tua.
Right.
Push Tua, and Tua didn't really impress me that much last year, but he was a rookie.
Right.
Because I know when they played us, man, Tua was getting destroyed, and then Fitzpatrick came in and just blew us away.
That brings up a good question. You just gave me a good question, Pop. So, as a rookie quarterback coming out, do you feel it is more beneficial to show out like and I know this is a bad person to use, but show out like the Patrick Mahomes to where the teams are specifically reading you, or have that mediocre team to where or season to where you can break out that next because they're not targeting you specifically. Kind of like Kyler Murray a bit. You know what I mean? Like he had a decent rookie season, but it wasn't standout. And then the next year was like, oh shit.
Yeah, but if you look at your boy Kansas City,
Patrick Mahomes.
Patrick Mahomes, he set out his first year.
Did he?
Behind Alex Smith.
He didn't get like the last end of that season.
He didn't come in starting.
Who was in front of him?
Alex Smith.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Alex Smith was starter.
He didn't get the last half of that season.
No,
well, I think he came.
I remember reading that he was like actually holding the clipboards and following around and studying and.
Yeah, I do remember that.
I thought he came in when Smith got hurt.
That Alex Smith said.
Yeah, I think Smith got hurt though, and he got like the last half of the season, and that's what.
Yeah.
It was like a Tony Romo Dak thing.
Right.
One type of deals where Dak came in, he sat down, and Tony Romo came up and said, "You know what? Hey, he can have it.
Those are
I can't do what he can do."
Right. Those are the best positions, though, when you actually let somebody develop under. You know what I mean?
Let them see what the game is about.
Right.
You don't see enough of that.
You don't.
That's why Joe Burrow got hurt, because he came in trying to play too hard, too fast.
Shout to Kurt. Kurt said if Cousins is all right, then Jay Cutler is a Hall of Famer. I agree.
I
agree.
Kurt's only saying that because Kurt's a disgruntled Bears fan. He is a Bears fan.
I still agree with him. I don't know. Cousins came and he did all right, but I guess I agree. But where were we?
Talking about Patrick Mahomes studying behind the quarterbacks, the 1-2.
Oh, right. So when you think of that, in that regard, who do you feel is next up?
See, when I say that, I'm gonna tell you who's next up. But when I'm saying the same thing is like you look at I hate to say this, but Malcolm, you know it. Your boy coming in,
Jalen Hurts.
Hurts came in. He was a great quarterback, but I think he should have studied a little more. Now he got in. He felt pretty good. He got a little cocky. Now he's cocky, saying it's his team. He's ready to run. I heard Philly's trying to get back down in the draft, a little lower in the draft
mix.
Yeah, they're trying to get down there again. But I'm saying I like him. I like Hurts a lot, but I think Hurts is one of them kind of guys who should study a little bit more and understand the game a little better. Pick up on some of that defensive reading, and I think he'll be a phenomenon. But right now, if you just let him go like he's gonna go and let that head keep getting swole,
right,
he's gonna be like the rest of them on his way home early.
Well, I think some guys you just you kind of got to throw them into the fire, especially. Well, to your point, Pops, I think last year they felt like, or these two guys probably felt like Peterson was like, it's either my job or Wentz's job. At some point,
right.
Obviously ended up being both of their jobs. But I thought he kind of had this desperation of I got to put Hurts in. Wentz isn't clearly producing. My job's on the line. I'm gonna throw him in. But to your point, I would have loved Pops if Hurts could have been studying more under the wing just to develop and progress. But I felt like again, I kind of agreed like we had to throw somebody in, and he was next to.
Think about what we're saying here. You're talking about a professional team, and you're giving it to a college player,
right?
So basically, you're growing. You're growing college NFL,
right?
Like Cincinnati. Burrow is fantastic, but Burrow's still college material.
Mm-hmm.
If he'd have had a year or two to study under somebody great.
So what about Zach? What about Zach? He's coming into a team that he has to lead.
Yeah, but you're talking about a running back. A running back is kind of the same, but yet not, because a running back knows how to run. You know how to run.
Well, who? I'm talking about Zach Wilson. I'm talking about that. Okay, I'm talking about the quarterback like that. And we know that the Jets are comfortable putting a rookie at quarterback after they drafted Darnold and had him there. But
shout out Noah. Shout out my dude Noah in the chat. What's up, Noah? Go ahead, cause my bad.
Oh no, you good. I didn't even pay attention. Thank you for paying attention to the chat. But
yes, sir. Yeah, some guys you got to throw in the fire, Pops. That's the name of the game. Like,
right, you got to.
In Cliff, yeah. In a perfect world, well, think about it, y'all.
Well, hold up before you do that. Well, no, get your thought out. Get your thought out.
I was just gonna say, a lot of these teams don't draft a quarterback for fun. We know that, right? Obviously, if you draft a quarterback, you must feel like you really need a quarterback. Right. So I guess what I'm saying is a lot of those teams don't have a readily quarterback, which is why they draft them and expect to try to start them. Is it fair to these young guys? No, because a lot can happen and go wrong. But I feel like if you already had a decent quarterback, like Aaron Rodgers, that was an exception. Remember when they drafted, was it Jordan Love, y'all?
Yes.
Like that was an exception. You already were good with Aaron Rodgers. But most teams don't do that who have a good quarterback. Like even the Buccaneers won't draft a quarterback.
Listen, that's what my question was who's next up when it comes to being groomed by a quarterback. And I know we talked about it last week where Aaron Rodgers isn't doing much grooming when it comes to Jordan Love. But I feel like being on the bench and a part of a team of a quarterback that does so much like Aaron Rodgers, you have no choice but to learn. And if you're not absorbing that information, you're not a good quarterback in the first place.
Yeah, okay, I got a question for you. A good one. Here's a good one.
Well, before you give it to me, who do you think is next up? As far as, like, you know, quarterbacks that are behind somebody that...
I was going to say Jordan Love. And the reason why I was saying the question I was going to ask you was this.
Oh, okay.
My question is this. For you to have a first-round pick or all these picks, would you not package it? Why wouldn't you not package something up to Green Bay since Aaron Rodgers is not leaving? Why don't you package something up and try to go for Love?
I woulda.
Because you understand me. But now also that same question is Jordan Love really good?
Under what organization? I can't say I woulda. It depends on the organization that I'm under. And then you said, is Jordan Love really what now?
That good. Because, I mean, if he's that good, how can Aaron Rodgers still keep pushing him back?
Because it's Aaron Rodgers.
Okay, but listen what I'm saying. That's my point. You're just saying it. And the older Aaron Rodgers on his way almost pretty much out the door.
I see what you're saying.
And a great Brett Favre, and you pushed him out the door for Aaron Rodgers, but you're not pushing Aaron Rodgers out for.
But it's the same. It's the same comparison as to why Floyd Mayweather didn't have somebody in his camp pushing him out the way. When you're that good, nobody's pushing you out the way. Don't matter how old I get, I know this game. No one's pushing me out the way. I stop playing when I stop playing.
I give you that. But to me right now, if Aaron Rodgers, when the last time he went to a Super Bowl?
What was that, 2010?
Yeah.
Okay, so you say 2010. So in 11 years.
Yeah, it was.
This is what I'm saying. You haven't gone anywhere in 10 to 12 years. It's time. Why not package him up? If the Love is that good, package him up and get you a couple first-round picks for him. Aaron Rodgers was on his way out the door, and let Love step on in. That's a better business decision.
But you already know, like, how it goes when you're talking about the Bradys. It's the same reason why Belichick couldn't get rid of Brady to play Garoppolo. When you're that good like Aaron Rodgers, you got the owner's number on speed dial. Like, bro, I'm not leaving.
That's what I said. Brady's still winning championships. Rodgers isn't. So maybe it's time to start moving on. Trade him, get a couple good picks for him, and let Love step in.
I see that. I see what you're saying. Now the question then becomes, would Jordan Love put you in a better position currently than Rodgers? Yeah. And I don't know if that's the case currently.
But if you can get 2 first-round picks for him, or a first-round pick for him, and a second, you can at least build your team up a little bit better.
Right. But yeah, I think that comes down to ownership, I'm not about to let somebody go like that if they're still, it's the hot hand, like we just talked about. You don't get rid of the hot hand to play the young buck.
That's what I was asking. How hot is that hand if you ain't won in 10, 12 years?
I think it's hotter than Jordan Love's hand currently.
I agree.
I give you that. But you think they got a shot this year?
No.
I mean, they always have a shot because Aaron Rodgers hasn't declined.
They're gonna get there, but I don't think they have a shot.
Well, it all depends on who's healthy. It all depends on what this COVID stuff. Once again, these workouts and different stuff. You know, Aaron Rodgers may be coming to draw some blood this year. You know, last year. I mean, I didn't.
He has to. We don't got many more left.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I let him go. I let him go right now. While I can get the best one.
I think listen. Agree.
And listen, y'all got to think. Why not try to go out with a championship so you can retire and run Jeopardy? You know what I'm saying? Y'all hear about that?
Wait, do what?
Yeah, you don't know that Aaron Rodgers been hosting Jeopardy and he's been having offers from Jeopardy to run Jeopardy in League Baseball?
Yeah, he's been doing it.
No, I didn't know that.
He's been on a few shows.
Let me find out, Aaron. I'm not mad at that. That business acumen.
You can watch him on YouTube. He's at him all day long now.
Yeah, he's on there, Cliff, and they're talking about Shannon Sharp was talking about, bro. He's like, if I was you, he was like, honestly, I would do that because he's like, you can do that to the end without no injury, it's not an injury or anything. But anyways, obviously he's gonna keep playing ball. But yeah, he might try to go out with a bang and go do Jeopardy. That's what I would do. I would retire on top, and I'd go do Jeopardy rest of my life.
If you want a Super Bowl, yes,
you know what I mean. See,
he probably talking to them right now, like, give me one more year, and then I'll be there.
Right,
that's smart.
But,
appreciate that though, Noah. I seen that. We appreciate that. We got a comment from Kurt. We got to cut the dynamic of just filling a gap in the quarterback position. Get somebody that can win you ball games and actually win a Super Bowl. Wasting too much time on the fits the system guys.
Right.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. 100%.
100%. That's what I'm saying. Sometimes it's best to give away what you got to get something better.
Yeah, I think, but I do think he's next up. Other than him, you gotta think the only person that's gonna be able to be in a good position like that is if the Patriots do move up to number 4 and get a Fields or a Lance, because you have Cam Newton right in front of you, and Cam Newton is still a good quarterback. I don't care what nobody says. Still a good quarterback, not the best quarterback by no means, but he's still a good quarterback. So for somebody that may have better tangibles to round it back, like a Fields or a Lance, to study up under somebody like a Cam would end up being the next step.
Right.
I don't know of too many in the league currently, because none even pop in my head when I think about it like that, other than a Jordan Love.
Yeah, nobody else I can think of off top.
Buffalo drafted a quarterback. I don't know what happened to him. Buffalo Bills drafted a quarterback that was pretty nice coming out of college. He broke a lot of records.
After Allen?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He was a tall guy. I want to say either just before Allen or right after Allen. He came in. He was a tall black guy. I can't remember his name. They drafted him. He was supposed to be superb in college. If you can look that up. Mark was pretty good at that. But they drafted a black quarterback. He was a black quarterback, came in. He was tall. He broke a lot of records. He was a stud. He was good at running, throwing. And you never hear nothing else about him.
I got Malcolm's answer for him. It isn't Jordan Love. It's your boy, Justin Herbert.
Oh, Justin Herbert's already coming up. He's not behind nobody, though.
Right, not anymore. Not anymore. But he was. He was behind.
Not Tyrod Taylor.
Dude got hurt.
Tyrod Taylor.
Was it Tyrod Taylor?
Tyrod Taylor. Yeah. He got his lungs punctured.
Right. That was exactly that situation.
And once he got
yeah.
But what I'm getting at is he had enough time to sit and watch to develop his game, see the speed of the NFL and what I need to adjust to, where it's a lot, like Kurt said, it's a lot of quarterbacks. I mean, of course, maybe not what he said, because he's talking about them fitting the dynamic of the team, but it's a lot of quarterbacks out there that come into the league or get drafted into the league because you so-called fit that. Right. You feel what I'm saying? Like, Sam Darnold is a perfect example. Now, let's be honest, the Jets didn't have much of a system to begin with, but you thought that Sam Darnold was going to be the guy to fit your system to move you. He didn't. Now you moved him out, and you're hoping that another college quarterback is going to be able to do that.
Right.
Once again, a new coach, new system with the Jets, so we got to keep remembering that. Adam Gase, his high self, is out of New York. He was probably blowed, they said, when he made the Sam Darnold pick, which is probably why it didn't work out, because he's just choosing just to choose.
I don't think it was a bad pick.
I don't like USC quarterbacks. I know Mike Brown, you're not on here, but I'm gonna let you know again. I don't like USC quarterbacks. They don't pan out. Once again, Matt Leinart. I can keep going. They don't pan out. My Eagles had what's his name? I didn't like him. He never panned out. That's gonna bug me. We drafted him a couple years ago. A blonde-haired cat. What's his name? That's gonna bug me. Hold on.
You said Darnold.
Eagles, USC quarterback.
See, I'm thinking of USC. I can't think of it. I don't know enough about the Eagles, but I can think of USC quarterbacks. Is
Matt Barkley. Actually, and it says he's on the. It says he's on the Bills. Interesting enough. But yeah, I didn't like him. I don't like USC quarterbacks. They just don't pan out. They don't. Something about them. Ohio State quarterbacks, like you said, too, Pops. But yeah. Anyways. Not to run a tangent on that. But yeah, I mean, these guys.
And especially don't run a tangent on it when Mike ain't here to defend his USC quarterback.
Hey, listen, I'll get at Mike up close and personal on his squad.
I'm going to have to call Mike to spin the block and be like, nigga, hop up.
Hey, but you know what? I've noticed, though, like I said before, man, the only quarterbacks I really like is quarterbacks that show me that anger, that asshole.
That grit.
Tom Brady.
Yep. That they're not scared to cuss you out. It's about you're not gonna make me look bad.
Right.
Do what I say. I won't throw you the damn ball.
Aaron Rodgers falls into that category too.
Exactly.
He's a little nicer, but he's a little nicer than Tom Brady, but he still falls into that category.
Rivers, all them guys that were assholes are the quarterbacks that make it. The Brett Favre, the Terry Bradshaw, all them guys.
You can say Ben.
Ben, yeah, another one. Them gunslingers that don't care nothing about your feelings, man.
Right.
It's those soft guys with the soft attitudes that just don't seem to do it. And that's why I'm not feeling Trevor Lawrence.
And to your point, Baker Mayfield and Odell Beckham.
He softened up to Odell.
But that's what I'm saying. And then once Odell got hurt and you saw Baker play, it was like, play your game. Fuck what he wants. Play your game. If he's open, get him the ball, but play your game. Right. Fuck him asking.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
I mean, that's a great point as well. Okay.
Did y'all hear about the NFL is going to have the expanded booth to ref communications expected to pass, I believe, this upcoming Wednesday.
That's a good addition.
It said the competition committee's proposal for expanded booth to official communication during replays has strong support among coaches and is likely to pass next week. This will be a notable change as it allows the replay official and members of the officiating department in New York to advise on-field officials on certain aspects of a play based on video evidence.
Right. So are we then gonna change the within 2 minutes rule as far as reviewing a play?
You're gonna need more than 2 minutes,
I'm saying in general, because if we're talking about a ref in a booth, which we should have always had, you can't just limit it to within 2 minutes of a second quarter or second half type shit to review a play from the booth. The booth could then review a play all game long. Right. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
Mm-hmm. So you got to get rid of that rule immediately if you're adding a booth referee, because a booth referee could say, nope, overruled. I see it from up here. That was an incomplete pass.
Yeah, we'll see. I guess more to come on that. That's a good point, though, time-wise.
You good, baby? You back in here, baby?
Man, it's been a struggle.
It's all right. It happened like that.
Yeah.
It happened like that. So let's let me get your opinions on the past couple questions and we'll move on. What was the one that I wanted from her? We already did the Jadeveon Clowney. Oh no, the 16 teams is where we fell off. 16 teams opted out of off-season workouts. That being, I'll go through them real quick. 49ers, Rams, Dolphins, Jets, Chargers, Falcons, Steelers, Raiders, Giants, Browns, Bears, Patriots, Lions, Bucks, Seahawks, and Broncos. Now, my question to them before you cut out was, do you think that this helps or hurts early season momentum or injuries due to teams not working out together?
I think it's for sure going to hurt them. But I also think it's one of those, I think that's part of the season. Like if a player could cut out on, they would want to cut out on that part.
Right.
So,
and that's,
I definitely think.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I was saying that's exactly what we were talking about. You can't trust a lot of pro athletes to train on their own. They're just not going to do it. Some will, a lot won't.
I agree. I agree. I think it's going to hurt. I think it's going to hurt teams at the end of the day. But I mean, I guess they have their reasons for not, being a part of it. But I definitely think it's going to hurt the teams at the end of the day.
Right. And Mock's point was definitely when it comes to injuries, with Saquon Barkley getting hurt early in the season last year from not having the preseason workouts and all that. But my thing was, when you think about the teams involved, especially being the Bucks, Patriots, Seahawks a bit, but I'll still give them that thing that comes to me as strategy. You know what I mean? Like last year, I feel like a live and you learn situation. I'm sure that a lot of teams came into an organization from the off season after vacations, travels, family events, and brought more COVID risk to the entire team. So if you're, you know what I mean, it may be a hold off as far as at least give us 2 weeks for you to cool out before we bring you in to the whole team's environment.
You think that's what it is?
That's the only thing I can think of, you know what I mean, other than the players just standing up and saying we don't want to do it.
I don't know. I think that it's probably mainly just them. The more that they play, the more likely somebody is going to get hurt. So it's like, if we have that option to opt out, then they're going to opt out. Like, we'll take our chances type deal, as opposed to letting our players get out there and get hurt.
I mean, but I feel like, well, I don't know. I don't have the stats to support this comment, but I feel like injuries have damn near gone up since the start of COVID and people not working out with the teams and preparing their bodies for the rigorous season of the NFL. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't have the stats. So I don't want to just fall on that sword, but at least from my perspective, that's what it looks like.
Yeah, I would have to check the stats on that one.
And I agree.
I feel like if they have the opportunity to kind of give them a chance to like not play and still have like a full season, so to speak, then I think that they'll take it. Less risk of injury during that time. But again, like, we'd have to look at the stats and see if that is true, where more people have been injured.
Right. And I agree there. I definitely agree there. Okay, we'll fast round it and then we'll move on. The Marquise Godwin signs 1 year to the Bears. Does that help Andy Dalton at all in that situation?
Can anything help? Listen, I don't even feel like that's even a conversation right now.
Right.
As help goes for Andy Dalton. Andy Dalton is Andy Dalton. There's nothing that, is going to be a great situation for him. I put him now, like, Andy's cool and everything, but I put him with like the Brandon Whedons and the other quarterbacks of that nature. Like, not saying his time is up, but his time is kind of up.
I think her comparison is better than yours, Malk. Putting him in with Cousins and Flacco and all them.
Yeah, he's.
Okay, last one.
Malcolm, I thought Malcolm compared.
He put him in the boat with Cousins, Flacco, and.
But my point was just to say that none of them are good to me, and that
right.
A lot of people
I thought you put Fitzpatrick in with them.
You did. He said Fitzpatrick too.
Listen,
I think they're a little above that. Fitzpatrick and them are a little above that category.
Brittany told y'all what kind of GM I am, and I'm sticking with that.
I know that's right. Right. He cutting them quick.
Yeah.
They go.
Okay.
Matter of fact, they can all hit the showers early.
Last one. Okay. Washington confirms in a statement that they're confident with their quarterback situation and Ryan Fitzpatrick. So the question being, with the addition of Curtis Samuels from North Carolina, the Ohio State boy, and then with Terry McLaurin.
The Ohio State boy.
I like him.
I definitely like Terry McLaurin, but
Ohio State.
You think Fitzpatrick is the right fit for that, the weapons and all that? You think they do something? Washington does something with that?
Is he the right fit? Probably not. I mean, he's not. I don't know what they're looking for. I think that's a hard question. I don't think he's the right fit as far as like that's who you want as your starting quarterback. Like that's who we're running with.
Right.
Maybe like we didn't have anything last year and we made it work. So this is a little bit more consistency than what last year. So if we can make it work with nothing almost, then we can make it work with Fitzpatrick. Like that's how their stance has to be. I definitely don't feel like they're coming out saying like he's our guy for sure. I just think it's like, hey, we made something shake last year. We for sure gonna make something shake this year.
Right. I mean, that's a pretty direct statement though. Like to be confident in your quarterback situation.
Well, they can't say we're not confident. I really don't feel like you can go into the season and say this is our guy and not be confident and openly say to the public that we're not confident in what we got on.
That's a locker room rift. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. That's behind the scenes, them panicking.
Right. Okay. Lastly, I don't know. I know Malcolm, you brought it up, and then we'll move on to the upcoming fights and all that. Dwayne Wade purchasing the ownership stake in the Utah Jazz. Big deal or not?
Is that referred? Who is that towards?
To anybody, to the panel. Yep.
What do you know his percentage? They
haven't released it yet. Nobody knows at the moment, and that's really where my answer comes down to. Because if I'm being honest, I feel it kind of as working for a company and them saying, well, if you buy stock in our company, we'll double it. You know what I mean? Like, just because Dwayne Wade played in the NFL or the NBA does it. I'm not sure that they're going to give you enough to really be an owner, like have enough pull as an owner.
Right. I think it's really like, I don't know what to say. Like Shaq got Sacramento Kings.
Does he?
Yeah, Shaq got some shares of Sacramento Kings. He's a part owner of Sacramento Kings. You got Michael Jordan
with Charlotte.
Yeah, you got now LeBron James is trying to buy into the NBA as well.
Mm-hmm.
He can't do it as long as he's playing, so he got somebody to get him some shares of WNBA with a partner of his. The partner's got it, so he's trying to get in so he can get in when the time to get in. It's like, to me, it's like, come on, man. It's just, I don't know. I think it's good for the league with these players owning it, but if they're not really going to be really serious about it, where like Jordan's actually serious about it, to me, it's a waste of time.
Well, I don't think it's like
it's not a waste of time. It's a money move. It's just a money move.
A money move. Yeah. Okay. What you got, Brett?
No, I was gonna say I think that they're serious about it, but I also think that it comes down to the percentage of ownership. So it's like if you only got 2%,
right?
Like nobody
even
to you.
20.
Right.
How many other people have 20 on my side and then you have 51? You only gave 49, so I got 20. He has 25. I'm not that big with y'all.
It's like Serena Williams and Venus Williams own the Miami Dolphins, shares of the Miami Dolphins. They own stake of Miami Dolphins. You don't even know it.
I didn't know that.
Like Malcolm said, he didn't even know the Shaq had Sacramento Kings.
Yeah, I didn't know Venus and had the listen. I didn't know that.
I mean, the way I look at it is instead of these guys investing into their own businesses or buying more houses, whatever they want to blow their money on, it's just another thing for them to spend their money on.
It's something they can spend money on. It's another way to make more money.
And don't get it twisted though. It's a good grab. It's about time people of color have gotten into that business. But I'm just saying, is it a big deal or a little deal based on how much we're being given? Right. In an era where we still have a Rooney rule that doesn't work, how can you expect even an NBA, because we know it's a little bit more black move than others, would give enough to have we still don't have a majority black owner in any sport.
I'd say how small it is.
Maybe Derek Jeter possibly with the not the Marlins.
Who'd he just buy?
It's somewhere in Florida though.
Well, I know Patrick Mahomes just bought.
I think it's Miami, not Miami.
Kansas City Royals.
Did he? Is he a majority owner though?
Yeah, well, I believe so. When he got that big contract, that's the first two things he did. He bought one of the fastest cars in the world, and he.
I don't think off of that contract you would have enough to be a majority owner of the Royals.
Let me see. I'll look up his.
Those are $1 billion.
Yeah, you gotta have really that's not contract money, or we would have been you gotta have you gotta have close to $1 billion. You ain't about to get it.
You ain't making no calls. You ain't no shot caller.
Right.
Yeah.
You may have a stake in it, like Dwayne Wade, but you don't have majority ownership.
He's a part owner of the MLB franchise.
You're a token owner.
Right. We give you enough that we'll be willing to give you.
We can always say, hey, we got a black owner.
Right.
Right, yeah.
We're not racist.
Right. But where's the majority black owners? I want to say Derek Jeter maybe. He's the Barack Obama of baseball. They probably asked for his birth certificate. But even still, I say that to joke about him being a half breed, but still.
We love everybody.
Of course, we love everybody, but I'm saying you know who to give it to. You know who's going to toe that line and who may take this control away from you.
Yeah, when it's time to make the votes, we don't want your vote to be in that strong.
Now, Derek Jeter, if I'm a GM and I'm of Caucasian descent, I'm confident that he's going to toe that line. I don't know if I'd be confident in a LeBron James or a Dwayne Wade, especially in Utah, sundown town, Utah. Dwayne Wade's not going to get no high stake. I say at the top, if I'm estimating, I give him, they might give him 18%.
That's a lot. I wouldn't even
That's
say
a lot, but I would say 18.
I was thinking 6.
Really?
That is, I really don't see them giving any person I just don't see them, letting that much control go.
Right.
Honestly, I just
6 may be closer. 6 may be closer. But yeah, I don't see him getting anywhere close to 20. 18 is the closest he gets to 20% of stake of that team. And we're talking Utah, so I think we're closer to Britt. Britt might be the Price is Right contestant in this.
I think the biggest stakeholder probably is, when we're talking basketball, is probably Michael Jordan. I don't know what his percentage is, but he seems to have some type of control. A bit of more control than others over what's going on. Everybody else, I think, like you said, like with the Serena Williams and stuff like that, I think that's
pieces,
just
crumbs.
Games.
Right.
Yeah. Because didn't they say Usher owned part of the Cavs at one point? I think when LeBron.
Yeah.
So, and you haven't heard anything about that since.
And listen, if Usher can afford it with his fake money throwing ass, I'm just playing.
Right.
I'm just playing.
Well, I don't know. What about Jay-Z?
Oh yeah, Brooklyn. I don't think he's a majority though.
He got a lot of pull though.
Yeah, I don't think he's a majority though, but I think he has a nice bit.
So, lastly reported in 2019, they said Michael Jordan owns 97% of the Charlotte Hornets.
97%?
Yeah, they said it's actually.
I'm wrong then. I'm wrong. He the first.
He calls the shots.
He the first majority black. Listen.
And according to Forbes, his last quoted, his Charlotte Hornets are worth about $1.5 billion.
1.5?
Yeah.
That's kind of low.
Oh, they are the Hornets.
What have they done? That's good for them.
Right.
That's right on target.
They are the
Is
Hornets.
there a team in the league that's worth? Is there a team in the league that's worth less than a bill?
Any
I don't.
team.
I can't see a team being worth less than $1 billion.
Yeah,
that's why
I
I said
don't think so either.
A couple billion just even get started.
Listen, Charlotte may have a playoff shot. So
Washington Wizards, they ain't all that hot.
But they have been. They have been higher than the Charlotte Hornets. You got to think they had Paul Pierce at one point. with Bradley Beal, John Wall, and all them. Charlotte just got hot with Miles Bridges when he got drafted.
Nobody's under $1 billion. I think the
I don't think
lowest that
so.
I'm seeing
1.2
I'm seeing 1.3 Memphis Grizzlies at 1.3 billion.
Charlotte is hot because of Ball. I give him all the credit.
Well, right, but they were coming up on that upswing when they got Bridges. You know what I mean? They started winning more games, but once Ball came in,
starting to turn out.
Yeah, I like Devontae though. Not more than Ball, but I like Devontae Graham, man. I think he could start somewhere else. But we'll move on. What you got?
The last little rundowns I had was apparently cornerback Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie is looking to play in the NFL again. He's made that noted that he's wanting to play. Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie. He was used to be an all-pro cornerback at
for
one
who?
Point in time. He just saying he wants to come back. He's ready to play back in the league.
But who did he play for before? Because that's what I'm saying. That name's not.
He played for my Eagles. He's played for the Cardinals, I believe. He's played. I want to say maybe not the Broncos. He played for the Jets.
Yeah, I'm gonna say the Jets. Play for the Jets.
Okay, I'm not familiar.
That's crazy because he's definitely going to be in the Hall of Fame. But he wants to come back. I'm not familiar. Alden Smith signed a 1-year contract with the Seahawks. Deshaun Watson lost the case and gained the case. He's back at 22.
Yeah, I saw that one of the girls pulled out when they had to release names, and then I heard that when they decided they had to release names, one of the girls changed her lawsuit altogether.
Right. So it says they lost one, added one, and then Cardinals obviously agreed to a 1-year deal with former Steelers running back James Conner.
Mm-hmm.
So now he's on there. Titans great Eddie George hired as Tennessee State head coach. Shout out OSU, Hall of Fame running back. Bruce Arians.
Jackson.
You said who right now? Right.
Hugh Jackson's their offensive coordinator.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that either.
I didn't know that.
Hugh Jackson, and he got his old coach to be his manager, his coordinator. Like, dude, tell him what to do, which way to draft. What's his name? Jeff Fisher.
Oh, Titans former head coach, pops back in the day. Some of Titans
yes.
back in the
Okay. Yeah, he's advisor.
Oh, really? That's smart.
Yeah, he's advisor. Helping put a staff together.
Right. So, hold on. Hugh Jackson took a job with who? Eddie George?
Yes, his offensive coordinator. Tennessee.
For Tennessee State?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I guess so.
I feel like Hugh Jackson really would take anything that's
right now. Everybody wants it. Hey, but what y'all think? What are we going about that? Remember we talked about your boy from Seattle, Wilson?
Oh, Russell.
What do you think about Seattle? They're trying to get. They're looking at Freddie, the receiver from Florida,
in the draft.
Yeah, they want to compliment. They want another. They want another big boy on Metcalf on the other side.
Yeah, I didn't hear.
Yeah, they got somebody on the other side. They got
Tyler Lockett. Yeah.
Either go off.
Yeah, but they're looking for that big boy. They want another Metcalf type receiver, and Freddie's that man. If you watch Florida, he's nice.
I have to check.
Freddie Swain, what's his name? Swain. Freddie Swain. He's a nice big boy. He's a big boy, fast, takes it down. He can run it.
Yeah,
they're looking at him. They like it. They want another big boy for Russell to throw to.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't.
Work on. Focus on other areas.
Seahawks trying to draft a wide receiver from Florida. Pops is saying.
Who?
Metcalf.
Freddie Swain.
Okay.
Big receivers, fast receiver, big cut up receiver, same type of deal.
I mean, I feel like Russell. Listen, if we talking about Russell, get him an offensive lineman.
Right.
I feel like they got bigger problems than to try and get a third receiver when they got two solid ones.
Listen, you need offensive lineman. You need protection.
Right. That's the thing they're talking about, though. That's what's coming out a lot.
Well, let's move on then. Well, first I want to congratulate Jerron Boots Ennis on the victory over Sergey Lipinets. He got a brutal 6-round knockout in that fight, and has now boosted himself to 27-0 with 25 knockouts. I actually got something wrong last week. I said that the no contest or the no decision was against Sergey. It was not against Sergey. It was against Chris Van Heerden. I apologize, but I think Tyler Hero and what's the name he look alike. So that was an easy mistake for me. What's his name? Duncan Robinson. I think Tyler Hero and Duncan Robinson are their twins. So of course I mistake Chris Van Heerden. But he definitely got that brutal KO 6th round. Nobody's ever stopped Sergey. He was I don't think he was a 2-time champ, but he was definitely ex-champ. Now he wants Terrence Crawford by way of Keith Thurman. So he's calling out Keith Thurman to put himself in position to get the Terrence Crawford fight. Don't see him getting any shots at a championship belt anytime soon, just for the simple fact that right now there's a monopoly on the belts. Errol Spence is about to have 3 after he beats Ugas. Terrence Crawford already has his 1, and I think there's an open one that Manny Pacquiao vacated that he's going for now. So I don't see, once the belts go into just 2 people's hands, the inevitable is that those 2 people have to collide. I don't see any young buck coming up to get in a position to get one of them belts. What you got, Pops? I saw you was looking kind of funny.
Oh no, I'm pretty good. I was just I got a text. I was just trying to get off.
Okay.
My birthday thing.
Oh yeah, happy belated. Happy belated.
Oh yeah, happy belated, Pops. That's right.
Yeah, I'm just trying to. I'm not doing anything. I'm tired.
I know that's right. Shit, hey. You and me both. Hell.
Ain't nothing wrong with it.
Happy birthday though. I forgot about that. Other news. Just to pass that up, Clarissa Shields has now scheduled her first MMA pro debut for June 6th or June 10th with the PFL. She'll be taking on 35-year-old Brittany Elkin in a lightweight bout at 155. The only thing I will say about this is the girl that she's fighting looks to be at least competent in jiu-jitsu.
Okay.
And that's the one place that I can see somebody like Clarissa Shields falling. You know what I mean? Like if she chooses to pull guard and you choose to go down there on the ground with her, that may be a loss for you. So if you don't finish it on your feet, I can see that being a problem. Hopefully that she's working on her little sprawling brawl. If she finds a way to defend takedowns, I don't see anybody beating her. MMA or not. If she finds a way to defend a takedown, I don't see anybody beating her. Yeah. At least in the PFL. Now, once you move up to the UFC, that's a different story. But right now, in this current organization, I don't see anybody beating her if she can defend a takedown. Or if she's smart enough not to know to go down there if somebody chooses to lay down type, you know?
Right.
Other than that, tonight, of course, as everybody knows, is the infamous Jake Paul Ben Askren fight.
Right.
Now, me, myself, I've been watching a little bit on both of them. If I'm giving my opinion, I say Jake Paul by TKO in 4 rounds. And the only reason why I say that is because, as everybody knows, Ben Askren was an Olympic wrestler, UFC, or not UFC champion. He got retired very quick from the UFC. He was a one champion in China or Singapore. He was a champ over there. But Pops, I know you know he can't move his head off the line. He can't move his head off the line. He has a wrestler's head movement where instead of moving their head from side to side, they change levels up and down. They go for the shoot instead of moving from side to side. So I don't see him moving his head enough to be able to get out of the way of Jake's punches. Of course, they say if he can take him into deep water and survive that long, he has the advantage. I definitely agree. But the fight's only 6 rounds as it is. So there's not much room for deep water.
What you said, like his wrestling style should give him like better moving side to side. Plus, he's also looking for shoots. He's also been fighting for a minute for a tougher opponents as far as fighting.
Right.
So that means he can take a punch.
Right.
He can take a punch, and everybody knows that if he's been studying and training for this.
With who's the dude that came out of Columbus, Ohio? Mike. Not Mike Conley. Not Mike Conley. I'm thinking of basketball. He was a boxer. He went on that Contender show and he lost in the first episode to K9.
Mike Carter, not Mike Carter. Mike Clark.
Michael Clark. Yes, that's exactly what I'm talking about. But the dude that beat him, K9, is training Ben Askren, and they had like a little sparring thing that they put on YouTube.
Check it out.
And it was Ben Askren's not used to circling an opponent. People don't really circle in the UFC. So it was a specific point where K9 sidestepped Ben. It was on the side of him. And he decided to do a spinning back fist and hit him. And I was thinking, oh my gosh, you're not going to be able to. This is going to be the sloppiest fight for you I've ever. They had another clip of him working the mitts. He looked great working the mitts. But as we both know, there are people that look pretty on the mitts that step in that ring and look awful.
You got gym fighters and you got when the lights come on.
Man.
The lights come on, can they fight or they freeze?
Listen.
Right.
I don't think he's going to freeze, but I definitely don't think that the work you're doing is going to translate into the ring. You've seen me before. We've worked the mitts and I've gotten in the ring and forgot everything that we've done. And you like, do this. Shit.
Instincts. Is that what I'm saying? Does his instincts take over or does his training take over?
He didn't have enough time, I think Jake Paul is that dangerous that he didn't have enough time to adapt to this style of fight.
But you know what? When I watched that Jake Paul and
Nate Robinson
fight, when you attack him, he's not good on defense either.
His footwork is choppy. Like he's he's nervous. He's anxious.
Because Nate was on him, but Nate just didn't know how to punch.
Right. He didn't know what to do once he got in there.
Yeah, Nate didn't know what to do when he was in there.
I don't think Ben does either, though. He's not a striker. He's a wrestler. He's not a striker. I guarantee he takes him down one time in this fight.
I think I want to see.
I think one time he scoops him up and takes him to the ground. One time in this fight, I guarantee it happens one time. But other than that fight, there is an actual good fight on the undercard. Regis Prograis out of Louisiana. He's 25-1 with 21 KOs. He's fighting Ukrainian Ivan Redkach, who is 23-5 with one draw with 18 KOs. I definitely see it being an easy fight for Regis. Well, not easy. It's going to go some rounds, but I see it being a stoppage.
I don't know.
Real quick, Cliff.
Yeah.
So I told you my dude Noah that I chopped it up with earlier. He's going for Ben tonight, and he's been commenting in the chat. He said, "I'm not sure. I think Paul hasn't fought anybody like Ben."
No, that's a fact.
He's gonna have his. He said he's gonna have his hands full, meaning Paul.
That's what I think.
He said Jake Paul don't know enough mixed martial arts.
It's not a mixed martial arts fight.
Right.
It's boxing, and that's where I think that's the downfall of. That's why I'm giving it to Jake Paul in 4 rounds. Right. If it was MMA, Ben takes him in the first. But this is boxing, and Ben has never been a striker. Ben has never worked on head movement. Ben is known for an overhand strike into a takedown, into a shoot for a takedown. And you can't do that here. You can't lower your body that way. Right. So if you don't have head movement, there's nowhere safe for you in that ring. If all you're doing is going up and down, your head is never off of that line. That means that guy can shoot all his shots straight at you, and you're never moving from side to side. He doesn't have it in him. I've never seen him move his head like that.
Noah said that's true. So
I've never seen that.
Must agree at this point.
Now, once again, MMA, that's a bit different.
Right.
MMA, he has perfect head movement. Because you ever seen an MMA fighter when somebody goes at him with punches, he puts his hands up and puts his head down like this. He's trying to catch the punches. With boxing, you can't do that. Doing this, this is open. You got to be head phone. You know what I mean? Move that head and keep your hand. He doesn't have that in him.
I don't know how Jake Paul's hook game is. That's what I was wondering.
Well, his overhand game is nice. That's how he put Nate. He hit him with a check hook. He put him down with a check hook in that Nate Robinson fight. Nate rushed in and he check hooked and like stepped to the side and he put him down one time.
Right, but Nate had absolutely no fighting skill.
None.
Right, that's my thing.
None.
He had the butt up in the air for all the city boys.
I'm done. Had the butt up.
I'm done.
Pops is that's the one Pops moment.
But that was not to offend any people.
You said what? What was that?
Look at to offend gay people. That's not trying to offend any gay people. I call boys, but you know.
We need a sound effect that says we love everybody.
Lord knows Pops ain't trying to offend no gay people. You bounced at slammers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I'm not talking about them.
But
making a joke.
He was face down, ass up, like I predicted that Amanda Nunes fight. So sorry about that, Nate. Sorry about the memes.
Yeah, my bad.
Wait,
my
can
bad.
we do a quick? Who is everybody going for with the Jake Paul and the Ben?
Jake in 4 TKO.
I can't call it.
I'm going with
you
the
got
underdog.
somebody, Pops.
I got to. Oh, you're gonna have to put me. I'm gonna go for the underdog. I'm gonna go for
Right.
it.
You going Ben? Y'all going
Ben? Going Ben.
Okay.
I'm with Cliff. I'm going with Jake. I think he's gonna win because I think he's gonna be the better boxer.
Right.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I think he's going to be the better boxer. And I also think that this is going to be the fight to let people take him a little bit more seriously in the ring.
Right.
And it's going to set up for some more future fights that they want. You know, they
listen.
You know I say Ben is because I don't know if Jake Paul can come out if somebody come at him aggressively.
Right. And Ben's going to be in his chest. He's not going to give him a chance to move.
You can only look pretty when you fight somebody who's not. When you find somebody who's like letting you be pretty, that's game. But when you find somebody coming at you like a mauler or a brawler, you got a problem. Now, who was that? Now, I'm going to say, who was that? Was that one of them guys fought? I want to say, was it Mayweather Jr. that fought that one dude that came at him all crazy? Or was that Roy Jones? One of them two got beat. No,
I think you're talking about the one fight that Mayweather said that he he won it. It was early in his career. It was like 8 or 9 fight. Dark skinned dude with like an afro, but he had like curlier hair. What was his name? I know exactly what you're talking about though. Damn.
He just came at him headstrong. He just came at him, just throwing punches, wild punches, and it kind of threw the whole game off. He couldn't be pretty at all.
Yeah, but see, my whole thing with Jake is, of course, he just jumped into boxing probably 3 years ago. Everybody would peg him to be on an amateur level, but he's training with people on a pro level.
Right.
So you can't really just put him in that amateur realm when he's training with those people. And he's never fought with headgear. His first fight might have been with headgear. That first YouTuber he fought, I think it was with headgear. But after that, he didn't have headgear, so he knows how to take a punch with a glove. And I'd much rather get hit with a fist than a glove any day of the week.
Right.
Hit me with your bare fist over hit me with that glove. I don't like getting hit with the glove. It rocks your brain. It's different than a UFC glove. I just don't know. I don't know if Ben's ready for all that.
I don't think that people realize how serious that Jake, because he is a YouTuber, you know, he has that social media presence and he's kind of considered corny from the outside world.
Right.
I don't think people know how serious he actually takes boxing.
Right.
That's why I know any credit. Not saying he's like a great fighter, but I do think he's better than bottom of the barrel. And I do think he's be able to beat Ben.
I think so too. And then the last thing I'll say on this is the fight is actually taking place in Atlanta, Georgia, which I think is fucking genius because you're getting all the white people from the outskirts that know of Jake Paul from, the internet coming. Then you get all the black folks that just want to come see a fight that kind of makes up for your Nate Robinson performance. You know what I mean? Because a lot of black folks didn't know Jake Paul when they fought Nate Robinson, so they was just betting on the black guy type shit. So when the black guy knocked out, they were like, oh, fuck Jake. But if you really knew Jake, you know what I mean? You'd be like, that wasn't too shocking of a performance. And putting him up against a guy like Ben who came to the weigh-in or the standoff in flip-flops, all the black folks is going to be like, he got the sauce. Look at this dude fly. He's a fly white boy. I'm rooting for him. So I think he's going to get his fandom back up in the black community fighting in Atlanta.
I don't know that black people were mad at Jake.
No, I don't think mad, but
you couldn't be mad at nobody. Nate Robinson was funny.
They're embarrassing us like that. Like I think black people were mad at Nate than they were Jake.
Man, I was furious at Nate, and then he announced he didn't spar one time leading up to the fight. I was like, oh my fucking, what the fuck was you thinking? You didn't spar one time? You were scared to take a punch.
What's that line from that rap song? What is it, Project Pat? Take that silly shit off. You embarrassing us.
You are correct. You correct.
That's what's going through my mind. Like, oh my god.
That's funny as fuck. But yeah, no, I'm sticking to my guns. I appreciate you, Noah, and I'm not mad at you for sticking to yours, but I'm giving it to Jake in 4-round TKO. I think he puts Ben Askren out on his feet, and he just leans up against the ropes and gets pounded on for a minute or two.
I think he's gonna get one in there the same way he did on Nate, and I don't think he's gonna be able to recover from it.
Listen, they did, and it's funny you say that. They did a side-by-side of Jake Paul's training leading up to that Nate Robinson fight, and he hit him with the exact same punch they were training for. It was and it wasn't pretty, of course, I'll give him that, but it was the exact same punch which let me know that he is, in fact, downloading this information.
Right.
It's not just something lucky. He's downloading it because he landed the punch y'all worked on. So it's only a matter of time. That moving in could be to your detriment, but you can't stay on the outside with somebody that knows how to box.
Right.
So either way, I feel like it's damn near checkmate for my guy, Ben. But other than that, I don't have much else. Does anybody else have anything that struck their eye or they would like to get out before we wrap up?
Left out one very important topic that we did not get to.
Let's do it. Oh, Donald. Aaron Donald.
No, okay. So, that, by the way, to sum that up for those who may not know, he was accused of beating up a guy in Pittsburgh where he's from.
Outside a nightclub, yeah.
But it turns out the news broke today that the accuser's lawyer said he
apologizes, right.
He was on a video. They had a video of it. The video showed they showed the video that actually Aaron Donald saved him.
Oh, really?
The other guys were beating him up. And Aaron
he need concussion protocol. He didn't know he said, which one of y'all?
He saw
it was you. You owed me. You did it.
He's pointing.
Right.
He had that pride effect. Like, man, he had to be the big dude.
Right. He hit me too hard.
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah, that's crazy though. Like, even I'm glad that you told me that you watched the video and that it was a situation where Aaron Donald saved him, because I'm thinking to myself, like, how many people can you mistake for Aaron Donald in Pittsburgh? You don't, right? He's the only one there in that's built and looks like that. So,
Harrison ain't as light as he is.
Who?
Harrison.
Oh, you talk about dude from back in the day. He ain't back in the day, but yeah.
James Harrison?
Right.
No.
I'm just like, who's going to the club of all things? Like, who's going to the club and like that's who you want to try? I'm a fight Aaron Donald. Like, come on.
Listen, he need that concussion protocol.
That liquid courage.
Listen, Aaron Donald's probably one picking him up. Like, bro, get up. Your clothes is dirty. Right. He woke up like, oh, you knocked me out. Oh, I'm filing charges. His lawyer was like, sir, look at the video here. Look at the video.
That's a bad feeling. Well, what's funny is, but the interesting thing is that's not actually what I was going to bring up.
Yeah, what was that?
About to be honest with you. The thing I was going to bring up is we didn't talk about how Julian Edelman is retired after being let go from the Patriots. And the question that I've heard and seen all week is, and I want to get y'all's opinion, does Julian Edelman deserve to be in the Hall of Fame one day?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because here's what's been said on First Take, Undisputed, and all that.
Right.
They said Shannon Sharp said amongst his peers during the time that he's played, he's ranked nowhere close to the elite, nowhere close on paper stat.
I don't think so either.
But the only thing that he's done is when it comes to playoffs,
my G is clutch.
Playoffs,
he's clutch.
He's been Mr. Clutch. He's one ring with Mr. Clutch. So they said, does he make it? What do y'all think? Does he deserve it?
How many rings does he have? He has 3. 3.
Let me see. Hold that thought. But I mean, what do y'all think though? I mean, out so far.
I think so. I so.
I just think he. I don't see it.
The only reason why I say continue pop. My fault. Continue pop.
What was the other guy his size that
he said he's a clone. Yeah.
What was the other guy had? The other guy did the same thing. What was his name?
I know who you're talking about.
Tom Brady always had a little bitty fella that ran around a lot and caught little passes. What was his name? The first one.
Old Gross have a crush on him too.
Yeah, he had a little fella that caught the ball all the time. During his first few.
I was thinking Weidman, but that's not him. That's the.
He had the same exact thing, and all he did was come and take
a little undersized white boy, huh?
Wes Welker.
That's exactly who it was.
Right. Good job.
Yeah, I knew it was a W. I said Weidman.
You're just making up names.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, he had a clone. All he did is come in and do the same thing.
I don't know. I think he did it a bit better. And then to before you get into it, Malk, and then another thing is like we talked about, Belichick's play style was short passes, little hitches, little slants, little ins and outs. He wasn't fast enough. He wasn't athletic enough to be putting up numbers off the catch that a lot of those other receivers were doing. But that doesn't mean that he wasn't getting the receptions needed to move that ball.
He got the receptions.
And how many rings? He got 3. Was I right?
So here's what I want to say real quick. So he ended a 12-year. It said he ended a spectacular 12-year career. He was a 7th round pick in 2009. Edelman turned into one of the most versatile players in NFL history. He retires with 3 Super Bowl rings, a Super Bowl MVP award, and it said enough highlights to create a feature film.
You gotta give him that. You gotta give him that, man. You gotta give my G that.
That's a true underdog to me. If there ever has been one.
That's like the fucking Mark Wahlberg story, but with the Eagles.
Yeah. Oh, right.
You a 7th rounder. Rudy. We don't plan on you even making a team, and then you made it to be a Super Bowl MVP.
Yeah.
Not Rudy. The Invincible about what's the dude's real name? You know I'm talking about.
I know the movie you're talking about, but I never watched that movie.
He was a kickoff. He was on the kickoff team, and then he moved his way up. He was the dude that recovered the fumble and ran it for a touchdown. He was a bartender. What was his real name? Philadelphia Eagles. That Mark Wahlberg movie, where he went and tried out for the Eagles and he made the team, but he only played on the kickoff, return. He played on the kickoff team, and he got a fumble recovery for a touchdown. And they started putting him on defense a bit. Well, he was a receiver is what he was, but I believe they put him on defense a bit towards the end of his career. Can't think of his real name though.
Yeah, I think Edelman because of how low he was drafted and the fact that he was to be
Papali, Vince Papali. Mm-hmm. I didn't even look it up, and I knew that Vince Papali was the guy I'm talking about. But I cut you off. I didn't mean to. My fault.
No, I was just saying. I think because of the fact that he's an underdog, just the way he came into the league,
you gotta give it to him.
He wasn't expected to be or do much, and he was little. I mean, he made plays when it counted. Yeah, he did. His stats won't tell you much as far as regular season goes. Like,
right.
He won't do much for you, but
of though a lot of it is based off of stats, so they're not going to be. Oh, well, you weren't supposed to be this good. We're going to put you in the Hall.
Right.
Is he going to be in the Hall of Fame?
Touche.
You put him on a different team, he wouldn't have had none of that.
You don't think so? Yeah, I agree. He probably wouldn't have got playing time.
He wouldn't even got playing time.
He probably wouldn't have got playing time. Last dude, well, no, you said it was Wes Welker, and then before that, it was the dude for the Jets.
You get it because of the fact that you know, offense that you were in, they threw a lot of slants and short passes, and you were a little midget. Nobody saw you.
Oh,
and you caught a ball. And
Cliff, you're forgetting somebody.
Who?
Y'all remember Brandon Stokely for the Colts?
Oh yeah. But he wasn't like hella undersized. He was a little bit.
He was.
He was.
I mean, he was a little dude, but he made plays. He made plays when it counted.
Just like I said, Wes Welker was there first, and he was dynamic too.
He was.
So basically, all he did was come in and just fill up the gap. So it's the offense that got you what you got because you played with Tom Brady.
I mean, but Tom Brady made a lot of people. Like
right.
I mean, let's be honest. He's turned nobodies into like James White,
Wayne Herbert for the Jets. Yeah, he was the one that came out immediate. Little undersized white boy that's tearing the league up. Nice. That was him.
It was nice. Brandon Stokely was 5'11", by the way. He's 5'11".
Yeah, I think.
Old dude. Corbett, yeah, he was.
He's nice. 5'10", yeah. So yeah, you right. Same as Stokely, yeah. So yeah, you right.
But you gonna get him on rings for his rings and the MVP, okay. So where he got drafted, okay. But as far as like anybody picking him up, if he left, he would disappear like Welker did.
I'm giving him Hall of Fame.
Once Welker left New England Patriots, he disappeared.
Well, he actually he did all right, pops in Denver with Peyton Manning. He did. I think he won. Did he win that last ring with Peyton too? I can't remember, but I think he might have.
Okay, Peyton, you might be right.
I think. Let me look and see now. It's going.
I think you might be right.
I think Wes got that chip with Peyton. Let me see. Wes Welker rings. So Wes Welker won in 2007. Hold on, that's not what I was. That's wrong. Hold on.
I think the only thing for me that will put Julian Edelman in the Hall of Fame is the fact that he has 3 rings and he has deep stats.
MVP.
Right, and you got that MVP too.
Yeah.
You got. I feel like you gotta give it to him, man.
So I might slide his way in there. I think those 3 things are going to do it. Like the stats are not like incredible, but when you put them with the other things, they might go ahead and let them slide in there.
Yeah, I'll give him that. I mean, I'm not a hater. I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you because you know what all you have accomplished.
Right.
But as far as like a Hall of Fame receiver, you're not.
Could Brady have done it without him?
Yes.
Yes.
I don't think so.
Yes.
I don't think so. That Atlanta catch that he caught off of his helmet. That changed
Julian Edelman?
Yeah, that changed the entire game.
Crazy.
If he didn't make that catch, they don't win that game.
That was crazy.
They don't win that game.
I want to tell me.
I mean, I get it. I don't like people try to bring things down to like one catch or one shot.
Right. Right.
The shot that 3, like, come on, you forgetting everything else that everybody did the rest of the game. But I just feel like, yes, because of the system that was in place, somebody else would have slid right in there and made their
okay.
I think that he would have got the rings, but if Julian Edelman wasn't there,
he might have got
fair.
both.
That's fair. That's fair as well. But they didn't with Randy.
Who? Well, they lost that one on him, but they went 16-0.
But they didn't win it with Randy.
I know. That you said that one play cost them.
And that one play made them with Edelman.
But is Randy the best person for that system, though?
No, not at all.
That's what I'm saying. Fit the system. But you can find receivers that fit that system.
Right.
So don't take away from. I love Randy Moss. So
I love Randy. I love Randy.
I love Randy.
What
They
we
just had the best season. Now they had the best season with Randy. They just didn't finish it.
Right. I mean, but that says something though. That
They
says
did it-
something.
Wes Welker.
They capped it off, then. Oh Lord,
Right.
that has just made Tom Brady that much better.
Man, listen. I'm glad they
Yeah, Wes
didn't.
Welker-
What you got, Mal?
Wes Welker got 3 rings, and he's apparently, I don't know if he still is. It said he was the 49ers wide receivers coach, Wes Welker.
I wouldn't. Yeah, I wouldn't. I think that's a perfect position for him outside of. Yeah, I think that's a perfect position because people like him. You have to be accurate on your routes. You have to be accurate on your. Everything has to be perfect. So yeah, no, I think that's a good fit for him. But we'll wrap it up. I'm trying to think of the well, let's go hit the showers and I'll think of the question. I've been doing that lately because I need to start writing the questions down before the So let's go, everybody's hit the showers, and then I will devise the question to wrap us up.
You know mine.
Well, who's yours? Who's yours?
Trevor,
yeah.
Lawrence.
Yep, that makes sense. But if he's a genius for trying to jump down to Dallas to get the Pantene Pro V commercial, then
he gonna get his commercials no matter what.
Right.
That's my hit the showers as well. But I wasn't necessarily gonna say Trevor Lawrence. I was gonna say white privilege is my hit the showers because if Fields were to say, "Oh, I don't really need football,"
he wouldn't have got drafted.
Man, they would have showed him how much he didn't really need football.
Right.
His stock would have dropped immediately.
Exactly.
He doesn't want to put in the work. The same. He would have been all types of labels would have came his way.
Say that shit.
Would have dropped. So I'm giving it to white privilege. I do like Trevor Lawrence.
I do too.
So,
but yeah,
I'm just going to give it to white privilege.
Right, I fucks with that.
Hey, his arms is as straight as his hair. Whatsoever. I don't even see him working out. And they said Justin Fields don't work out. That dude built like crazy.
Man, who you got, Mal?
I'm gonna need Ryan Fitzpatrick and Andy Dalton hit the showers because I don't believe in those guys and I never will.
Both of them.
I never will. Both of them hit the showers.
And is there a reason why they're linked? Is there a reason why they're handcuffed together?
Right.
Because both of those teams, those are their guys. Those that's who the franchises believe is going to be the ones to take it.
Well, wait. Should it be them to hit the showers, or should it be the front offices of these teams?
Listen. Let me just
both.
make this clear. I make this clear, both, because I don't care what NFL team that you played on. I think every team you played on, you need to hit the showers.
Put Malk in y'all's front office. He's cutthroat,
right,
Joe.
Right. Y'all too nice with these guys. Let them go.
Listen.
Let's go to the CFL. Play with Manziel, or the Flag Football League with Manziel.
Ooh, I just got everything. I'm just good at this, I guess. Let me toot my own horn. So I'm going to give my hit the showers, and it's going to turn right into our last question of the day. So, first of all, my hit the showers goes to NFL analyst Charles Davis for dropping Trey Lance down to 15 to the Patriots.
Ooh, yeah.
With that being said, his pro day coming up this Monday on April the 19th. Do we see this increasing or decreasing his draft stock? That's the question that we'll wrap the day up with.
I'll say increase.
I say increase as well.
I'm gonna say increase because he's already seeing that Justin Fields is putting out some incredible tape, and you're compared to Justin Fields, so you know you have to be on at least that level.
I agree. I think he's better, and the only reason why I say increase is because Trey Lance completed 58 of his 65 passes in his first pro day, and he moved at a good rate, like at a good speed, where a lot of them quarterbacks didn't move that fast. So for the fact that you did that well in your first and you still coming back to do another one, I feel like you can only really do better in that situation. More preparation, I'm sure he's picking the receivers. He wants to be there with him at that situation. So I agree with the increase. What about you, Malk and Brittany?
I think it'll increase.
Ladies first. So Malk, go first.
I think they'll increase. I think he'll definitely increase his stock from 15.
Okay. So do you see him jumping Mac Jones to 3 to San Fran? Or do you feel like that's a system that he wouldn't fit in?
That's just a popularity contest. So let's be honest, guys. Sometimes
I agree.
Guys get drafted just off of, like, basically, you know what I mean? Like, that's just what it is. He's an Alabama guy. Nick Saban has ties to the NFL still.
I agree.
Take my boy. You take my boy. You know, come on. You need him.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I agree.
But I think Trey Lance will improve his stock, but I don't think he'll pass Mac Jones, unfortunately. I think he'll perform better than Mac Jones if that counts. Like,
he already has. Somewhere. He did it the first time.
Well, I mean, like,
Mac Jones,
if he starts. Go ahead, Pop.
I think Mac Jones is a smokescreen.
I think so, too.
Yeah.
And it's probably from that burning tire around his waist. But, Brittany, how do you feel about the situation? And we'll get us wrapped up here.
To be honest with you, I feel like you said, is it going to be an increase or a decrease?
Right.
I'm going to actually say a slight increase.
A slight increase?
Yeah, because I really kind of feel like at this point, people know where they're going. So it's really between, a couple teams that are eyeballing them.
That's
so
a good point.
It's going to be like a huge change there.
That is a good point. That's a good point. I'm going to have to agree with that.
Yeah.
Well,
yep, I can see that.
Let's take it out on a good point. Does anybody else have anything to say before we wrap this mother up?
Fire Mike Mayock.
What was that?
Fire Mike Mayock.
Shut the fuck up, man.
That's not a general manager. That's once again, that's a popularity contest.
Shut the fuck up. Who should we fire in the Eagles organization?
Everybody. I've been saying that.
Clear
I was
to
going to write a letter last season. I was going to write a letter last season. You know, I'll
He was about to give his what you call it, the rank of the, what is the restaurant rank they be doing, like when people do them wrong. What is that called?
Right. I was gonna do a complaint. Listen, just straight up.
It's something that they do online though.
Like a review or what?
Yeah, it's like a review on shit. I can't think of the name of it.
Dear Mr. Lurie, I was close last season. I was close to writing the owner.
Listen,
better. You gonna let me go?
Listen, review them motherfuckers. Their lockers ain't separated enough.
Right.
But if we have nothing to wrap it up, as always, everybody on the panel, I appreciate having you.
Yep.
I appreciate all the callers in making their little responses.
Listen,
tonight.
yeah, that was a great deal this evening.
In with us.
Yep.
So y'all are definitely appreciated as well. Gotta appreciate the shower heads out there. And maybe Noah's right. Maybe Ben does get the win. And if so, we might have to have you on to shame me personally. Yeah. So I can eat my crow in your face. But
that though, I'm riding with you. You're not the only one that thinks that
listen,
Jake is gonna win that.
Listen. But to all my shower heads, as always, tune in. Next time we'll be back for an NFL episode on Wednesday and the flagship episode on Saturday. But be good or be good at it, motherfuckers.
Yes, yes.
Always the best.